It's time for Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX, on your radio at AM 940 and online at mywithersradio.com. Rams Baseball is presented by the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, Banterra Bank. Banking with local style. The Mount Vernon Rams on WMIX are also sponsored in part by Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us, Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital. Raising the bar. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. Rend Lake College. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu. And also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois, Heartland Accounting, All Stars and Stitches, Bean Insurance, Central Christian Church, and People's National Bank. It's time to join Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski in the 94 Sports Mobile Studios for Mount Vernon Rams Baseball. The Rend Lake College pregame show starts now.
And good evening. Today, the 94 Sports Mobile Studios brings us to Sauget, GCS Park, where tonight the Mount Vernon Rams will take on the Alton Redbirds. Kind of use that Althoff thing. Althoff. It's the Alton Redbirds here tonight. They are 14-5 on the year. They are 5-2 in a very tough Southwestern Conference. Good evening once again. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside for your Rend Lake College pregame show. At Rend Lake College, you get a quality education and save thousands. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu. Rend Lake College. It's time. Danny, it's going to be a bit chillier than what we are accustomed to, of course, as the sun starts to go down here on the western side of the state of Illinois. It's going to be a little bit chillier going into the night. The winds will not decrease at all, according to what I have. So it'll be a chilly night here at Sauget, but hopefully the Rams bats can continue to heat up from where they did on Thursday against Alta.
Not surprising, because 5 years ago here for a game about this time of year in the middle of the day, and it was rather cold in the hour and a half to 5 innings I spent here at this ballpark. But back again, a new turf field now. The natural grass has been torn out, pushed away. The all-turf field is in. They have the grass painted green. What would be the grass? What would be the dirt is painted brown. You'll see rubber pellets kicked up everywhere, as this new field still has yet to have a lot of usage. And Mount Vernon and Alton has the opportunity tonight to play here on what will be a very chilly evening by the time we get done here in Sauget, Illinois.
Of course, we have plenty to tell you about on your Rend Lake College pregame show. We'll talk more about the Mount Vernon Rams and some about the Alton Redbirds when we come back. First, we need to take a quick break. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. We've recently settled into our new Mount Vernon location just off Highway 37, 1 mile south of Veterans Memorial Drive. Come visit us, good old boys, on the south end of town, where we offer only the best in collision repair. Here at Landers, when we write an estimate, we offer to send it directly to your insurance company to speed up the claim process. We can also put you in a rental vehicle while we restore yours. Landers continues to raise the bar and set the standards in the collision repair industry. Lifetime warranties on all repair work and free lifetime detailing ensure that you don't just bring your vehicle to Landers, you become part of our team for life. Our mission is to make sure your vehicle lasts longer with a much higher resale value through quality work using professional finishes. Give us a call to schedule an estimate, a detail, or to schedule your repair. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. Call us at 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
Hello, I'm Morgan. A few months ago, my gynecologist said that I needed surgery, a hysterectomy. I thought for sure I'd have to leave Southern Illinois to have it done, but I was surprised to find out that not only could Good Samaritan Regional Health Center do the surgery, they had one of the nation's most advanced surgical systems. They called it the Da Vinci. It was basically this robot that translated whatever movements the surgeon was making into even tinier, more precise movements. My doc even told me that over 100 of these procedures had been done at Good Samaritan. Well, the surgery went great, and I was out of the hospital in no time. And because I was close to home, my whole family was with me every step of the way. Good Samaritan is my new hospital of choice, and starting in 2013, they'll be opening an all-new regional health center with even more advanced services. It makes me happy to know they'll still be around when my kids have families and need specialized medical care. That means a lot to me.
Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital, raising the bar.
Hello. Okay, people, here's your chance to come clean. Been punished? What did you do?
I backed into a tree.
I got dinged at the mall.
I hit black ice, then a parked car.
And your punishment was?
They raised my auto premium.
Here's how to stop the punishment. Get Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. With Rate Lock, you'll get a low rate that stays low, even if you file a claim. You're locked in until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Oh. Which means when you call on us, you'll feel like you're supposed to feel. Relieved.
So talk to us at the Bean Insurance Agency today. Call 618-242-6017. That's 618-242-6017. Or go to beaninsurance.net.
See for yourself why more than 90% of Erie customers stay with Erie. Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
More baseball action ahead on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com.
And we welcome you back to the Ren Lake College pregame show. Ren Lake College offers over 100 degree and certificate programs for thousands less. Visit them online at rlc.edu. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside from a windy and chilly GCS Ballpark here in Sauget. The 17-5 Mount Vernon Rams look to improve to 18-5. But against a team like Alton, much improved Division I catcher behind the plate, Danny, it's going to be a tough one here tonight. Even at this neutral side, now with field turf after bringing up the grass a year ago, this year, and then bringing the turf in. Rams not used to playing on that type of surface. Of course, neither is Alton. However, could be a tough one here this afternoon.
Could be, and again, you're stepping up in class. Alton of the 4A variety from the Southwestern Conference, 14-5, 5-2 in that particular conference. Of course, you're playing the likes of Edwardsville and others, Granite City, to name a few teams. Obviously, Belleville East, Belleville West. So some baseball tradition in that conference, and this is not an easy one for Mount Vernon. It's nice to step out and play a team bigger than Mount Vernon. Usually the Rams don't get that opportunity too many times during the year, but have made the trek over. Each team gets an umpire, and they bring them out here, and they will play this game here tonight on turf. Of course, this will host the Class 3A Super Sectional, I believe, as well as the 2A Super Sectional for boys baseball in about a month. So maybe these two teams can get here in their respective classes in late May, early June.
We shall certainly see a lot of baseball to be played between now and then. Of course, the Rams will rely tonight, of course, on their ace, Jared Anthony, 6-0 on the year, looking to become 7-0. Probably the man you want out there on a night like this. It is a little chilly, so we'll see what happens.
You can get in somebody's wheelhouse, get in somebody's kitchen. You can do some different things here as it's one of those cold nights. However, the wind kind of swirls here in the press box as we're sitting at directly behind home plate. The wind is blowing straight out to left and left center. We saw a couple rockets shot out of here in the JV contest that started at 4 o'clock. The JV Rams lost 17-7 in the 6th inning. A couple home runs cleared the Big Ten out in left field easily. So you can tell the ball's going to maybe carry out to left and left center, but maybe die if you try to go out there to right and right center.
Exactly right. Of course, the wind swirling here from GCS Ballpark. We're in Sauget tonight. We will get to know the Central Christian Church starting lineups here in just a moment. Of course, incredible things are happening at Central Christian Church in Mount Vernon. Look no further than thenewscentral.com. You can watch their Friday night and Sunday services online. It is thenewscentral.com. Central Christian Church, loving God and loving people. Of course, Danny, it's a busy week here on WMIX and online at MyWithersRadio.com. And, of course, tomorrow we're at Centralia for Lady Rams softball in the makeup game. Then on Wednesday we are back at home against Heron for Rams baseball. Thursday on the road at Marion for Rams baseball. Then on Friday it's Lady Rams softball against Mount Carmel.
Yeah, busy week again for us. We picked up some more games for next week as well as we get ready to go. We start winding down. Hard to believe that on Thursday the seeds and on Friday the pairings, times and dates for Class 1A, 2A baseball and softball will come out in a week from Thursday and Friday. Same thing for Class 3A and 4A. Of course, Mount Vernon Rams interested in 3A. And being that it's such a late start, it'll be about 7 o'clock before we get underway here from Sauget. We're going to have all kinds of scores coming in from around the area. Already a very interesting baseball score involving teams that Mount Vernon has played already this year. But again, lots of games going on. In fact, a 11-inning ball game. Starting the 11th inning at Benton right now. Harrisburg and Benton tied at 5 going into the 11th.
I believe we have time for a comprehensive State Farm scoreboard update if you want to give us one.
Well, here we go. Leading off the softball, Woodlawn beat Wayne City 5-2, and Pinckneyville beat Sparta 10-7. As I said, going into the 11th inning, it's Benton 5, Harrisburg 5 at the Benton City Park. And the interesting baseball score that I already featured referenced, Centralia beat Belleville East today 3-2. Now, Mount Vernon lost to Belleville East, but beat Centralia. Centralia lost to Mount Vernon, but beat Belleville East. Go figure.
game of bounces is inches sometimes, I guess, to borrow terms from other sports to make it interesting, is I just got a score myself via text message. Lady Rams softball fell to Salem today by a final of 4-3. So that's scoreboard update. Those scoreboard updates presented by State Farm agent Tony Wilt back in Mount Vernon. You can find him on 42nd South Water Tower, or you can find him online, TonyWilt.com. Walk in, call in, or click in like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. The Rams, according to what I have, will be the visitors on the scoreboard this evening, while Alton will be the home team as they won the junior varsity contest. Again, we preface that score for you as Scott Gamber's team had a rough go of it today against the Redbirds, Tim Holloway's varsity squad, and let's see how they can do here in just a moment. Of course, we will need to get to know your Central Christian Church batting order. Since the Rams, according to what we have, are the visitors on the scoreboard, why don't we go ahead and meet Tim Holloway's batting order?
Leading off for the Mount Vernon Rams, shortstop Zach Jones, batting second and center, Landon Thomas, batting third at third, Zane Saunders, batting fourth and catching, Grant Garrett. Batting fifth, the designated hitter is Colin Young. He's the ace for Jared Anthony. He's the starting pitcher tonight. Colton Meadows at first base, batting sixth. Batting seventh at second, Matthew Williams. Batting eighth and right, Nathan Holton. Batting ninth and left, Clayton Reeves for Tim Holloway's Mount Vernon Rams, who come in with a record of 17-5.
17-5 Mount Vernon Rams. They remained undefeated in the South 7 Conference after a thrilling, I guess you'd go and call it, come from behind in extra innings fashion over the Altop Crusaders on Thursday afternoon. We, of course, had the call of that one. And it took a 2-run inside the park home run in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs for Zach Jones and the Mount Vernon Rams to come off 6-0 in the South 7 Conference. And what a thrilling contest that was.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good win. You were at home. Altop has been snake bit, I guess you could say, playing the Rams here lately with things going on. And, again, it's a case of Mount Vernon got a win, got it in the conference, still undefeated, still playing well. That's what you want heading into this game. And non-conference affair kind of test your mettle here against a Class 6A, or Class 4A still, I should say.
No doubt about it. Of course, as we know, one of our umpires, Jim Collins of Harrisburg, who had the JV contest, had to have a parent, of course, who also is a licensed umpire, so don't think it was just a parent putting in on the base paths. But the one of the umpires was not here, but he's here now, and we will get started a little bit later than anticipated. Normally try to get this varsity contest started about 6 o'clock. As you see now, if you're looking at your clock, it's about 7 minutes until the top of the 7 o'clock hour here in the Central Time Zone. So, interestingly enough, we will get a late start here today, but as I can attest, this is always a fun one to get in here at GCS Ballpark.
It's a good place to come play. Hopefully both teams will have an opportunity to come back in early June to play in the Super Sectional here. And, you know, both teams, from what I can gather, throwing their aces here today. Of course, Jared Anthony, we know all about him. Charlie Howard, the starting pitcher for Alton, comes in with a record of 5-1, has thrown 19 innings this year, gave up 8 runs, 4 of those earned, 18 hits, all singles, and his ERA is 1.47. So Mount Vernon is up against a buzzsaw coming in here with a 4-1 record. Not bad, or 5-1 record, I should say.
Not bad. Of course, backing up the pitcher Howard will be Lawrence Moore, Ron Wisnaski, and Luke Edwards in your outfield from left to right. It's Miles Spurgeon at the hot corner. Matt Halliday is at shortstop. Clint Kress is your second baseman with Shane Matthews at first base. Brent Gibbs will be your catcher for Charlie Howard, who has that very, very nice record as we established just a moment ago. We're glad to have you with us. WMIX online at MyWithersRadio.com. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at 94Sports, or you can like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/WMIX Sports.
I'd like to hear from you on those if you're listening somewhere out in the universe. I'd like to hear from you as the Benton game goes to the bottom of the 11th, tied at 5.
Rams will see the Rangers again this season in May. That'll be interesting. Rams might see the Harrisburg Bulldogs.
Yeah. Of course, with everybody getting games in, 35-game regular season limit, you just never know.
I must have miscalculated. Tim said we're about 3 over. I thought I only had us for about 2 over. But, of course, with the Cahokia game being rescheduled and Harris and West Frankfort definitely being on the schedule, then I guess we are 3 games.
Yeah. Over. We are 3 games over right now. So if Ma Nature jumps in and brings out a few games, then we'll be okay. If Ma Nature continues to give us the blessed weather that we've had this spring for baseball, softball, track, and tennis, then Mount Vernon's going to have to, and, you know, Mount Vernon's not the only team. Everybody overschedules in the spring. Lots of teams are going to be giving up games.
Oh, it's one of those, Danny, where, you know, obviously if Mount Nature doesn't step in, we all have our 3 that we'd like to just go ahead and move off the schedule because in case we want to see
we had a vote, an unofficial vote here before the game.
I know which one you wanted gone.
I wanted 3 gone. I picked 2 pretty quick. So we don't need.
Well, one that I want to get rid of, we can't. So sometimes you have to get those conference games in.
Right, yeah, you can't have conference games, although you would like to. Interesting where we're sitting at, though, because we're right across the way from the airport, and on the other side of those trees over there is Cahokia High School. So, you know, we're right across from everything here with the airport going on, and then, of course, down the way, because Cahokia, Tupelo first in Cahokia, but, you know, the old airport over here, a lot of people use it. They're flying into Lambert's, what we're next to. Sun behind us sitting in the west.
Of course, the setup, and I know you weren't able to visit Cahokia last week, Danny, but the setup is very similar to that of the old Sauget Field up in here. It's just a bigger and a larger scale. And you go to Sauget Field where the Rams varsity would play against Cahokia, and it's not unlike the setup they have here.
Well, the setup has changed here. Having been here before for many games, high school level-wise, and having been on the field, there used to be a little bit higher slope. The actual playing surface, not named foul territory, was extremely high, and it would slope off tremendously toward the dugouts behind home plate, toward the backstop. And with the redoing of the field, now a completely turf infield, they have dropped that off considerably, and it's not the severe slope that we usually see here at GCS Ballpark. Nice facility. The turf is in good shape, having walked around, obviously, first year out of the deal, but great facility here for baseball. Frontier League Ballpark, obviously, one of two that Mount Vernon will get to play in this year.
Of course, this has been your Red Lake College pregame show. Red Lake College has over 100 degree and certificate programs from which to choose. Save thousands in your collegiate education at Red Lake College. Find them online at rlc.edu. Zach Jones will get us started against Charlie Howard, a right-hand pitcher. We'll start out of the windup here to Jones as our first pitch will come right about 6:57, about an hour late. And it'll be a strike swinging across the outside corner. 0-1 here to Zach Jones.
I laugh because one of our co-workers says 11 innings in high school baseball. Who does that?
0-1 coming inside. Jones will turn. It's going to be 1-1 count here to Zach Jones. Gets him started, provided a bit of the drama on Thursday. As his last at-bat was a 2-run inside the park home run. Infield would be tremendous, wouldn't it? And that'll be a strike on the outside corner. Fastball across. It'll be 1-2 here to Jones. Thomas to follow. Zane Zonders as well here in the top half of the first inning. Rams baseball is finally underway. Presented by Banjo Bank. The 1-2 coming, whacked at it. It's going to be fouled with the backstop. Count stays the same. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nice. Birds flying around. Center field 385. What would you say out there from left field foul pole to about right center? Fence, what, about 25 feet high?
Probably. As is, will be popped up sky high behind the dish. The catcher Gibbs, Division I product, will get underneath and fall backwards on his thumb. That makes the grab.
Tough play there because, as we said, the wind blowing out to left and left center. He turns around and didn't figure in the wind blowing in as much as that blowing that ball away from him towards the infield playing surface. Had to jump back and fell backwards on his backside, but he made a catch for 1 out.
Of course, as I look at the advertising wall, the right center field fence, I see one of my favorite radio stations on there, not named WMIX, as Thomas will pop one up. Shortstop will come away at the grab. Right around where the third baseman was playing. So 2 away here for the Rams. Zane Zonders to come here. Top of the first, no score yet. As Howard will get the taste of his first right-handed bat here in the Ram lineup. B1047, our sister station, of course, is the station which I was alluding to. With 2 outs, here comes Zonders. Takes the first pitch strike from the inside corner, 0-1. B10 Bo is what I call it sometimes as well. Bo Meyer, legendary longtime voice of the Nashville Hornets, general manager over there. It's going to be a ground ball. On the 0-1, the third baseman Spurgeon will pick it up, fire across the diamond in time. 1-2-3 go the Rams to the first. No score. This is Rams baseball on WMIX.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac in Centralia.
The SRX also has the Glide-Up touchscreen navigation, which includes voice recognition. That's a neat feature where you can actually speak to your navigation system, and it will download the directions right onto the vehicle, take you right to the front door. It is so convenient. There's no arguing between husband and wife about where to turn, and so that's a great feature to have.
Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac, 1421 West McCord in Centralia.
This is Mike Reese. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back, Rams Baseball, on the road here at Sauget, where the Rams are taking on the Alton Redbirds. We actually need to get to know the Redbird lineup, courtesy of Central Christian Church.
We'll get to know them right now. Leading off in center field, Ron Wisnowski, batting second and left. Lawrence Moore batting third and catching, the aforementioned Brent Gibbs, going to Indiana next year. At first base is Shane Matthews, not of the Florida quarterbacking variety. DHing and batting in the fifth spot is Ray Bailey, batting sixth and pitching. Niles Spurgeon, which is not right. He's DH, I should say. Batting seventh is third baseman Clint Kress. Batting eighth in right field, Luke Edwards. And batting ninth at shortstop, Matt Halliday, for your Alton Redbirds here today.
Of course, we get to know the Rams defensively behind the pitcher, Jared Anthony, 6-0 on the year. And the first pitch is on the way in the bottom half of the first inning. No score in case you're just joining us, as Wisnowski will take a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Lead off the postseason with a Banterra Bank free checking account. Banterra Bank, of course, is banking with local style there in Mount Vernon. 0-1. That's going to be line. Frozen rope to the left side of the infield. And that'll be a leadoff single for Wisnowski. As we've seen, these Alton bats can certainly hit, and appears to be very similar to the JV start.
JV game this evening, I mean, for JV kids on a cold night in a big ballpark, they weren't scared. Alton swung the bats very well in the JV game, and here again, leading off, first pitch, ready to go.
Of course, we'll see Lawrence Moore step in, the left fielder, with one on and nobody out in the bottom half of the first inning. Alton looks to get on the board first as they strike first against Jared Anthony. Anthony looks in. Bird will come out of the stretch here. The tall, lanky right-hander leads the team in strikeouts and wins. He's 6-0 on the year. Here comes. That'll be a ground ball just past the diving Colton Metter. Into right field it goes. Holt will pick it up and fire it in. The runners will be at the corners with nobody out.
Very aggressive base running by Wisnowski. Gets from first to third on the base hit to right field. And already the Redbirds flapping their wings a little bit in this first inning with a couple singles to start the bottom of the first.
Just like that, threatening here in the bottom half of the first inning will be Brent Gibbs, again going to Indiana, as we understand. We'll play Big Ten baseball next year. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports. You can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Twitter mentions coming in, I see.
Yes.
As the 94 Sports and My Withers radio email goes off.
I got some information. The Lady Rams, in their 4 runs they gave up to Salem today, losing 4-3, were unearned. They had 7 errors. 6
or 7, neighborhood.
I had 7 is what I've been told.
Fine. I did neglect to mention that earlier. I apologize.
That's all right. I was just saying from the tweet I just received. 6 errors.
Runners at the corners, nobody out here. The bottom half of the first inning. Brent Gibbs, the catcher, stands in. Here comes his first pitch. He will send that foul. That's a dribbler down the third base line. Scoots out of play. Or scoots out of fair territory, I should say. So 1-1 here to Gibbs. Lady Rams did take a tough loss today on the road at Salem. They are now doing the math here in my head. 14-4.
I'm laughing at something else.
No, I know, but I tried to run down the schedule in my head because I have it written down from last time, but I had the record wrong last time. I gave them an extra win, thinking that they had already played Centralia 1, even though I had known better. So I messed up our Facebook post last week, because it'll be a curveball just misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Brent Gibbs. So you get me thinking there. Sometimes it doesn't work out too much.
I don't do any of that.
What's it thinking?
Yeah.
You're a wiser man for it.
I just follow you, and then I put something wrong down, and then I get in trouble.
Well, that was mine. Environment. I did the post.
Yeah. Big situation, though, here.
Yeah, 1 ball, 1 strike, but as the corner's going is Lawrence Moore. He'll take second base. But a 1-2 count on the swinging strike to Brent Gibbs. However, the bigger story in this that is the fact that there's now 2 runners in scoring position. Absolutely nobody out in the scoreless ball game here in the bottom half of the first. The game got started about 57 minutes later than its scheduled start time due to a lengthy JV start. Then, of course, you have to warm up your varsity players. Now a 1-2 count with nobody out to the right-handed Gibbs. Big Ten product.
Yeah, Gibbs batting .429 this year, 15 RBIs. Slugging percentage of .612. So he has been a big stick here in this third hole, probably most of the spring for the Redbirds.
1-2's coming, and he goes around. That'll get away from Grant Garrett, the catcher. He'll fire on down to first. Good stop. Looks the runner back to third base, and that's a big first out to this inning.
Huge first out there to get him out. I mean, he's only struck out 8 times now, 9 all year. And for him to get or Anthus to get that out, that's a big out here. Still second and third, one out. Ram infield back regular depth here early on, giving up a run. They'll give up a run for an out to kind of minimize the situation.
And now the first taste of lefty for Jared Anthus. 2 on, 1 out here at the bottom of the first, no score. Here comes Shane Matthews, and he'll take in the turf for ball 1. All turf infield, all turf field, basically, foul territory, alleged warning track, what have you. They made that change in the offseason here at GCS Ballpark. Just off of I-255 and Sauget off of Set Lane. 1-0, we awaited here to Shane Matthews. He'll go ahead and swing at this one since it's a second. Great play off the hop by Williams. A run will score on the 4-3.
Yep. RBI ground out. Once it works out, Mount Vernon gives that the run for the out. It's all it takes to lead 1-0, but Mount Vernon gets another out closer to get out of the inning. 2 outs and 1-0 ball game now as the Alton Redbirds take a lead here in the bottom half of the first inning. Still a runner threatening on third for Ray Bailey, the DH. Anthus will fire out of the stretch. Here comes the right-hander's offering. Changed up that time. Swung on a miss. It's 0-1. Rams Baseball is also presented in part by the fine folks at Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. There, your home for the largest selection of pre-owns, priced at $10,000 in one location. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East there in Mount Vernon. Goes to the dirt this time, not chasing with Bradley. Count will even up 1-1. See what happens. Here's Anthus loads up. There it comes. Ground ball at the opposite way, picked up by Williams. Fires first inside. That'll retire the side, but Alton strikes first. They lead 1-0 after 1. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
How do you spend your Saturday mornings? Wake up, grab coffee, get something to eat? Why not add a little WMIX Saturday Sports Show to your Saturday? From 8:08 until 10 o'clock, we have guests, discussion, and fun involving the regional sports topics that matter to you. It's the pick-me-up you need to start your morning off right. It's the Saturday Sports Show every single week on WMIX AM 940 and online at mywithersradio.com. Presented by Crossroads Community Hospital. Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Banterra Bank.
And welcome back to GCS Ballpark here off of I-255 in Sauget. That's in St. Clair County. Chris Hugo with Clinton? No, it's not. Okay. I was leading into that. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Glad to have you with us on mywithersradio.com.
My life for the years.
As your radio home, WMIX. Glad to have you with us.
Somebody needs to show me that.
Well, actually, to show me, we'd have to go about 9 miles to our west into Missouri.
Well, I know
Garrett
that,
Young, Matter will get us started, made to the lineup. Middle portion anyway here as Garrett will rip one in the left field on the 1-0. Sends it to the wall, gets past the left fielder more. Garrett's going to hustle around first. Going to have to hurry into second base, but no, the shortstop goes ahead and catches the relay. Matt Halliday. That'll be a 1-0 single.
Garrett laced that ball. He'll have a courtesy runner. Hayden Czerwinski will come in and run from him. He laced that ball down the left field line. One hop off the wall, got past the left fielder more, and he was able to trot into second base for the first hit for the Rams. Speaking of games, bottom of the 12th, Benton and Harrisburg still tied at 5. Wow. Both teams have had opportunities in extra innings, and nobody can score. They will go as long as they need to. They have lights at the City Park in Benton.
Interesting. RBI chance for Colin Young as he'll take a first pitch strike across the line of the plate.
Lights have been kicked on here at the old ballpark.
I understand that's a hefty fee per hour. Wow. The Rams will try to get this one in quickly.
How hefty is it?
150, I think. 125,
and
175.
Both teams have to share it?
I believe.
I just I just told that JV game you got an hour. Take off.
Well, worth it. You need an experience like this, though.
Oh, you need an experience like that, but paying light bills don't come cheap these days.
0-2 is the count here on the batter. Young, runner on second base, nobody out. And Colin Young takes another plunk in the left shoulder. He gets himself aboard.
First and second, nobody out. Little back at you from Mount Vernon here with Colton Better, Williams, and Holt coming up here. Bottom of the order paying off here.
That it is. We got to see a nice grand slam earlier in the JV game as Thomas Weber came up huge with the bases loaded. Ultimately, the Rams were able to win that one. It did give them a 7-5 lead at the time, but ultimately succumbed to the Alton Redbirds in that junior varsity contest. We'll give you the scores and more coming up. We'll give you another scoreboard update. 11 minutes past the 7 o'clock hour. Glad to have you with us. As Metter trying to rip one down the left field line, sits it foul into the picnic area.
Nobody picnicking here on this cool evening.
No, probably not the weather for that.
No, but it's not bad. I mean, we have had some great weather, dry mainly to get sports in, and then some warm weather until recent days.
We're getting the weather we should have had to start the baseball season.
It's just fine.
Completely honest. High school football weather. 0-1 is going to be high overhead. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Colton Metter. Don't bank on the away team. Bank for the locals. Banterra, locally owned and operated. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC. 2 on, nobody out. Top half of the second inning. Rams trailing the Alton Redbirds by a score of 1-0. We wait the 1-1 out of the stretch. Here it comes, and that'll be a high strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Metter falls behind. Charlie Howard. I wonder if he knows an Uncle Charlie or two.
I heard one of his uncles named Mo.
Larry. No, Larry was fine. Chuck Howard, Curly Howard, Mo Howard. There we go. Here it comes. He'll whack at it. Send it foul.
All those third base. All those guys over the weekend.
How was it?
You have to. I say you can't look at it as the other three you've seen in black and white or color all these years. You have to look at it from their own thing.
I can't know that Will Sasso and Sean Hayes are. What?
No, you can't think Will and Grace halfway through it. No.
I got you. Or Mad TV.
No.
Look, the 1-2 coming to Matter Hill. Swing and misses on the outside corner. That'll be the first strikeout today for Howard. Puts it down on the board now for Matty Williams. He was the man on base when Zach Jones had the inside the park home run to win it against Alta. I believe he let that off with a single, if I recall correctly. Off the inning, then 2 outs, and then up came Zach Jones and ended it against the Crusaders on Thursday. Here comes the first pitch to Matty. Rips that one to the left. That could tie this ball game. It will. Around the score will be Hayden Paninsky. Well, Lawrence Moore had something to say about that, right?
Well, Mount Vernon missed a chance, Chris. You talked about Moore threw that baby in. He airmailed it on a kite string all the way across. We have a race between a helicopter and an airplane coming across the field. That's interesting. As that goes on at the airport, we'll tell you that the throw from left field was well over the cutoff guy's head into the catcher's area, and the runner at second base did not get to third. Hopefully that won't come back to haunt Mount Vernon here.
2 on, 1 out now for Nathan Holt getting the start in right field here today. And he will lay off one in the turf outside. 1 ball, no strikes here to Nathan Holt.
They'll be wanting the helicopter beat the airplane in.
Of course, that airplane doesn't look like he had a chance.
No, it looks like somebody's practicing their takeoff and landing the way it looks. And then
Kurt Russell
in there.
Here comes. Holt will take another to turf. Good eye, 2-0. As we were talking about 90s movies last week, before the game with Derek Carlin, Centralia, I brought up sudden death, but now I just thought of Executive Decision. That was another decent bad movie of the 90s. This 2-0 will miss high, 3-0 to Holt.
And one thing about it, this is a kid in Howard who hasn't given up much, Chris, and you wonder what his mental makeup will be if Mount Vernon can tack on a crooked number here in the second inning to see what he does. As the catcher will run out, and Alton already getting some action up and going in their bullpen down the right field line.
They're not going to take any chances in this one. It looks like Ben Baldridge, a right-hander, will warm up in the Alton bullpen down the first base line.
As I said, his ERA, minuscule at best, like in the $1.47 range, and now the head coach will come out, give that bullpen time to warm up. As we talked about, Howard, 5-1 with a 1.47 ERA, he's only given up 18 singles. He may be rattled.
I would say probably a good time to make a visit to the mound, especially when it's driven by Ford Square. The Ford F-150 boasts an exclusive EcoBoost engine, which means more power with better fuel efficiency. Test drive the large truck champion at Ford Square. You can count on us. Rams and Redbirds are tied at 1 here in the top half of the second. Rams were threatening with 2 aboard, first and second. Only 1 out here in the inning, and a 3-0 count on the batter Holt that would load the bases. So, coach has a visit to the mound, and now Charlie Howard has a chance to settle in and try to catch some of that composure. 3-0 the count here on the batter, Nathan Holt, with Clayton Reeves to follow. 2 on and only 1 out here in the top of the second. Howard looks back. Out of the stretch he'll come, and it's inside. So that'll walk the bases loaded for Clayton Reeves.
A discrepancy of 6 and 7 errors from the softball game today. I won't mention the end of the tweet. I will not acknowledge such laughable college basketball fanfare.
Mine came from the official booking.
Yeah.
Amy Johnson kind enough to send me the report and the score.
Either way, there's too many.
Of course, that's her thoughts exactly, and of course, they will have the innings tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Conference undefeated record on the line in Centralia.
Pretty well. All
Rotary Park, right?
Yep.
Now, what can Brown do for you?
Essentially.
Yes.
Not that he won the count here to Reeves, didn't see it at all. Now he'll send one right back to the pitcher. He will go to second, try to initiate two. Throw is off the mark, and the shortstop covering Halliday can't come up with it, allowing the run to score. So the catcher's wondering, hey, why didn't you come home? It was a force at home, as you'll see that communication there. It ends up being a costly run.
That is a case where you have a pitcher who's rattled, not been scored upon a lot this year. Ground ball right back to him. Taylor-made 1-2-3 double play, and he goes to second base to take more of a chance and more of the dangerous throw.
So 2-1, Rams on top. That'll bring up the top of the order. Zach Jones, sky high on the pop-up. Second baseman gets underneath it. About 10 feet away from the bag. That's a good grab there by Crest.
Yeah, and on the previous play, Chris, your catcher, I mean, he has to scream at the top of his lugs, home, four, whatever they use, to get that pitcher focused back on what's going on. He's rattled a little bit, obviously giving up a couple of runs, and that catcher's got to take charge and yell and scream at that pitcher. He can't let that pitcher get out there towards second base on that throw.
Bases loaded, 2 outs now for Landon Thomas. He popped up his last time out. Steps in, takes a 1-0 count as that was in the turf inside to the left-handed Thomas. Glad to have you with us, courtesy of Banterra Bank. In a grand slam, go for the account with no hit fee. Banterra offers a totally free checking account. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. Thomas will pop one up just past the mound, left side of a third baseman. Spurgeon will not make the grab. 1 Reynolds, 2 runs score on that, and on the E5, the Rams get a couple of runners. We're about ready to call the can of corn and get out of here, but the Rams will place 2 on the air.
Well, I'm telling you right now, you can see Spurgeon looking up, and you can see just over the grandstand, there's still a bit of sun peeking in over the grandstands here toward that area. He got up there, and I think he had that ball up until that ball dropped through the sun into almost to his glove, and that's another error, and Mount Vernon's got second and third. The inning continues.
But now Zane Saunders will stand in, takes a first pitch fastball high. It's 1-0. The Rams have batted around here in the second.
2 runs earned out of the 4 Mount Vernon has played it here in the inning.
1-0 the count on Zane. 2 in scoring position here. 2 out, top of the second. A 4-1 ball game with Grant Garrett on deck. Zane will rip one right up the middle. That'll score another 2. Here comes Reeves around to score, followed by Landon Thomas, and that'll be a 2 RBI base hit for Zane Saunders. Inning continues.
What a job, boy. Mount Vernon doing what they need to do to score runs. Drive runners in, taking advantage of other errors. Great job of the 2 RBI single by Zane Saunders.
This is an example of the Ram bats basically picking up where they left off against the Crusaders.
Well, the key is this. If the third baseman makes the catch, you're up 2-1 going to inning. Ball drop, 2 runs score, 2 more there on that single. You add on, you take advantage of the miscues of the other team, and that's important for Mount Vernon in this case. That's 6 runs on 3 hits.
Brings in Grant Garrett now. Runner on first, 2 gone, 6-1 ball game. He kind of started back to lead off the inning, had a double and later scored. Oh, pardon me. Scored on the RBI single by Matt Williams. As Garrett will take high and tight. 2 gone, a 6-1 lead for the Rams here at the top half of the second inning. Wow. 4 runs for the Rams after it should have been a third out on the left side of the mound. Third baseman Spurgeon has some trouble with it, unable to make the grab, but now the count's 1-1 to Grant Garrett with 2 outs and a runner on first base. 6 runs here in the top half of the second. Unfathomable. Considering with the stat lines we knew coming in with this pitcher, Charlie Howard. The right-hander comes with it, misses on the outside corner this time, and it's 2-1. My, oh my.
Yep. What happens?
Happens when you don't make plays. We do have a final. It's Benton.
Benton wins?
Yes, sir. 6-5 and 12. They'll check on Zane Saunders there at first base, back with the head first side. That scoreboard update's presented by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. For all your insurance financial service needs, see Tony in Mount Vernon on the corner of 42nd South Water Tower or online at TonyWilt.com. 2-1 is whipped upon. Coming inside, change up, 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Garrett. Of course, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We will also extend this scoreboard update. Remind you, Lady Rams fell today against Salem on the road, 4-3. But we'll see them try to rebound tomorrow against the Annies Centralia. Pregame will be 4:15 right here on AM 940. 2-2 to Grant. He will foul that one off. Just got a piece of that as it went inside on the fastball.
I wasn't able to talk to people about that game, but I have forgotten that my game is still ongoing.
Well, forgotten that it's ongoing. Forgotten it's a alleged start. I was going to say alleged 6 o'clock start. It turned into 6:57 according to what I have. 2-2's the count. Runner on first. 2 gone. Top of the second. 6-1 is your lead. As that one will be ripped a fair ball down the third base line. Around second, headed for her. And third is that will carry him away from left fielder Florence Moore. And second and third will be her runners on the double by Grant Harris. So 2 doubles in the inning.
Mount Vernon's getting some fantastic looks here off the pitcher, Howard, and Melton's got double barrel action in their bullpen going on right now.
Saunders went as fast as he could around the bags and ended up at third base. That just took a bad carom off the wall for Lawrence Moore. Moore chased it down, was able to relay it back in quickly. That keeps it second and third with 2 outs now for Colin Young, who was plunked and scored earlier here in this very inning.
And around here in the second inning, didn't expect this with a kid with an ERA under $1.50.
It's going to change now.
He's got the express elevator going up.
And that's going to be a first pitch strike on the inside corner to Young, 0-1. Making a tough case, definitely, for your Committee First Bank of the Heartland player of the game.
Several kids are already from Mount Vernon getting off to a good start.
See what happens on the 0-1. Swung a miss with. Slowed it down that time across the outside corner. It's 0-2. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home at Dix, Ina, Woodlawn, and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC. 0-2 with 2 aboard, 2 outs. In the top of the second to Young it comes. And that was a strikeout, but the catcher couldn't come up with it. He'll make the throw down to first base, and just like that, your lengthy second inning is over. We're through 1.5, 6-1, Mount Vernon. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Hello, this is Hunt Bonin with People's National Bank. We are proud to be a 101-year-old family-owned bank. We take pride as a bank in having products that are customer-friendly. With free checking, good CD rates, great mortgage products, and many other great products, we have everything to meet your banking needs. Stop by any People's National Bank and see what banking with a family-owned bank is all about. People's National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It happens every spring. You need a great quality vehicle. That's where Second Chance Auto comes in. Family owned for the past 32 years. Second Chance Auto has been the cure for spring new car fever. No one has a better selection of vehicles priced under $10,000. Almost all their vehicles come with a generous 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. There are no dock fees, no shipping fees, and no processing fees like those new car dealerships. Just low prices. Second Chance Auto. Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Call 244-4582. Second Chance Auto.
Let's go back to the field, powered by Banterra Bank.
And we welcome you back to GCS Ballpark here in Sauget, Mount Vernon Rams Baseball. 6 thus far unanswered runs, obviously, in the top half of the second. The name of this one, Alton was in a position to get out of the inning, but had an E5 that extended it. Rams were able to get 4 more. First pitch of the second inning will come to Niall Spurgeon, who leads us off, trying to get some retribution for what happened there in the Rams half of the second. He takes the first pitch strike.
If you're the Rams, you want to get out of this inning 1, 2, 3 and get back in the dugout with that momentum.
That's going to be a fly ball towards center, shading towards right center, but guess who's there for the grab? It's Landon Thomas.
Difficult time of day right now as we head into the twilight before it gets dark. The sun's starting to go down in the west, still shining at a slight angle out across the field. More in the left fielder's eye as in shortstop than anybody else right now. Lights are on but haven't taken effect, so it'll be tough for the infielders and outfielders to pick up the baseballs. They're going to have to help each other here in the next half innings or so.
Lefty Clint Crest stands in, and what they're going to have is, Danny, an issue with the lineup card because they have 25 listed twice.
Yes.
Well, this is actually number 8.
It's a misprint. Yeah, it's a misprint on the card, on the lineup card, 225, but they misprinted and they got a number situation. That's it.
So they'll get this straightened out. They'll figure it out. They'll talk to the coach. And basically what I did is I just matched the name to the number down below. Clint Crest is number 8. They do still have 225s listed on the roster below, but thankfully with the name on the lineup card as well, able to get that figured out. So they're going to try to get this straightened out here.
It's a clerical error. No biggie.
All it is. 1 out now for Clint Crest. Luke Edwards to follow here in the second inning, bottom half. 6-1, of course, is your score. This would be a technical foul in basketball.
Yeah, technical.
That's our basketball.
This would be a T in basketball, yeah. Got all kinds of controversy going on.
It'll be interesting to see because normally they don't pay that much. Pay very close attention to things.
It's just a misprint. Somebody put in an 8 instead of a 25, so it's all good there. Yeah, somebody's trying to sneak anything in, so. Excitement out of the Alton dugout. Glad to see they're awake.
Most excitement Madison County's had here in quite a while. 6-1 is your score.
It's going to confuse me with all these counties. Wink,
I know mine.
Wink,
I got you. Open face smiley. That's going to be a first pitch strike on the inside corner.
Wink, wink. LOL. Totally Wordsworth.
ROF. I don't even know. Yeah. Here comes the 0-1 to Crest. The lefty will swing through and miss on a pitch to the turf. Nothing to do.
ABC 1, 2, 3.
You know me. OPP. Whoa. Nothing to do is your count. 1 gone. Bases are empty in the bottom half of the second inning. Rams are on top 6-1 after scoring 6 in the top half. Here comes 0-2 outside. Good waste pitch that time. Good miss, Jay Bird.
He wasn't that far off.
Bird's looking to fly high here tonight. One strikeout today.
A guy pitches as quickly as he does on a cold night. Your fielders appreciate that out of you.
Tim calls him his get in and get out pitcher. Here comes the 1-2. Catches the outside corner. There's strikeout number 2. Just call me Nostradamus or Freud. It's actually said 2 strikeouts a moment ago.
More back to Mo Howard. But
about Abraham Maslow. I have a hierarchy of needs.
Well, the needs for Mount Vernon now get this last out of this second inning and get into the dugout to start the third and get some more runs on the board. Maybe get a short game out of the deal and cut down your electricity bill.
Bases empty, 2 outs. Luke Edwards will take 1 outside. Right-handed bat. It's 1-0. I told you about Con first a moment ago and our player of the game. Who will it be here tonight? 6-1 already here in the second. Rams on top. 2 outs. Space is empty. And it's empty. The bunt on the 1-0 is Edwards. Catches it. Pops it foul behind to the backstop net. It's 1-1. Grizzlies season will get started before you know it as Frontier League Baseball fires up. 1-1's coming. Ooh, just low. Looks good on the corner. It's 2-1. You can follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports. You can also like us on Facebook at WMIX Sports. 2-1's coming. Swung and a miss. Good pitch that time by Anthony. He's not bad. He'll be going to Shawnee College next year, and as I understand, Zach Jones will be going to RLC. 2-2. We wait for it. Here it comes. That's going to be inside. Turfus, 3-2. Not a lot of folks taking this one in. Of course, it'll look like not a lot under the circumstances. Full boat, 2 gone, bases empty, and that'll put 1 on. Because that'll be the first walk allowed in quite some time by Jared Anthus.
Tough one there to give that up, and the action continues. Single barrel action continues in the Alton bullpen, but tough walk to give up to the number 9. Get to the number 9 hitter now.
Worth noting that the consecutive scoreless inning streak for Jared Anthus will end at 22 2/3 innings. 6-1 your score. Runner on first 2 outs. Chasing after it high that time is Matt Halliday. 0-1 your count. Halliday. Man, what's his name? Pitcher. I'm drawing a blank now.
Roy.
Thank you. Ooh. 0-1 coming. So kind of like a portmanteau of Roy Halladay and Matt Holliday. As Halladay gets away, unless Edwards takes second base on the pass ball. A lot going on our social media today. I see you posted some content on our Facebook page.
Posted some pictures on Twitter as well. Like to hear from some people if you're listening in or cruising the pages.
See what happens. See if we get some tweets. Here comes the 1-1. That's going to be fouled back. Hope our friend gets everything out of the way. It's 1-2. Friend doesn't really have to worry today.
Yeah, I saw him when I went back out to get a coat as the racing helicopter comes in again. But he said he was quite happy with his parking place close and felt like there was really no way a foul ball could hit him. So
he said he hit behind an SUV.
Yeah.
1-2, 2 outs, runner in scoring position here for the Redbirds as Halladay will let one slip by, but it's going to be low, 2-2. that a medevac shopper? Might be Channel 5. Seen that a time or two of my times over this way.
Yeah.
Typically doing football. Back to Hope. 2-2's the count, 2 gone. Runner on second base here in the bottom of the second. Ring them up. That's going to be a backwards K on the outside corner. Left-handed Holiday will take. And we are through 2. Still 6-1 Rams. This is Mount Vernon Baseball on WMIX.
Hey, are you thinking of starting your own business? Or maybe you already own your own business and have tax questions? Call Heartland Accounting today. At Heartland Accounting, we specialize in small business planning. Let us help you with your business bookkeeping, sales taxes, payroll taxes, or maybe just some solid business advice. Get started right and let us help you make your business a success. Call Heartland Accounting of Mount Vernon today at 244-7077 or stop by 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
For more content, like WMIX Sports on Facebook. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back, Rams Baseball. We head to the top half of the third inning. New pitcher for the Redbirds will be Ben Baldridge. He, of course, warmed up in the bullpen during much of what developed there in the second inning. The Rams have scored 6 unanswered runs. Came in the top half, second inning, an inning to go. Now it'll be Colton Metter, Matt Williams, Nathan Holt, 6, 7, and 8. 2 up in the Ram lineup here in the third. So Metter will take an inside pitch at the turf at 1-0.
Final line on Charlie Howard. He goes 2 innings, gives up 4 hits, 6 runs, 2 of those earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. On the hook for the loss right now.
As the next pitch will miss inside to Metter, 2-0.
Being on the air saved me from a 12-inning replay of the game in Minton.
There I asked. The 2-0 coming. Misses outside. It's a 3-0 hitter's count to Colton Metter, who gets started. Struck out his last at bat, back to the second. Gets another chance here in the third with Mount Vernon up 6-1. Here comes the pitch on the way. And that's going to catch the outside corner. Obligatory. 3-1. I finally got my line written in for the previous pitcher. And now Metter will smack one to third off the hop perfectly from Spurgeon. Throw is in time. 5-3 for the first out.
I'm letting your relative know that we're on AM 940. They want to listen.
Oh, my alleged stepbrother who is not my stepbrother?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Confuse the people at times. Matt Williams will stand in, 1 out. The base is empty here in the top of the third. Rams up 6-1 over Alton. Here comes. He'll swing through. 0-1. Rams Baseball is presented by Banterra Bank, whether retirement is years or months away. Open a retirement account to fit your lifestyle perfectly. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC. Next one to Williams. Scoots outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the right-hander evens up the count. He had an RBI single and later scored back an inning ago. It was a 6-run Ram inning. Should have only been a 2-run inning. But the Rams will take it into the turf this time. It's 2-1 as Williams is back in front of the count. Williams has been consistent as far as defense is concerned in this Ram lineup. For a team that's been somewhat inconsistent out there on the defensive end. 3-1 as he took in the turf again. I really do turn Canadian when it's hockey postseason, don't I? I notice I continue to go soft E. 3-1 is going to catch the outside corner. Counts full. 3-2. Big at bat here to try to get something going in the third. 1 out, base is empty for Williams. Here it comes from Baldridge. And it's in the dirt. So 1 out walk will put Matthew Williams aboard for Nathan Holt. He walked on 4 straight pitches and later came around to score. He was one of the ones that was on his horse after that error. An error that would have gotten all down the inning, instead allowed 4 more runs. Holt stands in, runner on first, 1 out. In the top half of the third. Still pop 1 foul coming to us, maybe. Nope. I forgot where I put that net.
Don't
I can be like Ozzie Smith when he was ridiculous all those years on KPLR. And mile 1. Good times. Ozzie used to have a net. 0-1 now. That'll be a shot, ground ball, third base side. The only choice will be to first. Holt will be retired 5-3. 2 away now, the runner on second.
So a couple of 5-3 outs here in the inning.
Have you know this is the jacket that caught the foul ball? Right behind my neck. Did I tell you about that?
Yep. 2 outs in that a time or two.
Yeah. I don't tell the story as good as some of the others. 2 outs, runner on second. Here it comes. That's going to miss high. 1-0. Clayton Reeves stands in. Reached on an error his last time up. That was one where the pitcher tried to start the double play at second base instead of coming home. Here comes the 1-0. Reeves will take inside low, 2-0.
And it backfired, and that led to a big inning. I'd like to welcome our friend from Benton again.
Taking an exciting one. And Reeves will go opposite way, pops it up, giving chase is Luke Edwards, but the grab will be made on the run by Clint Kress. And that will do us through 2.5. Still 6-1 Rams. This is Mount Vernon Baseball on WMIX.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois proudly welcomes Dr. Brian Steinke to their medical staff. Dr. Steinke is an orthopedic surgeon specializing in spine surgery, treatment of the injured back, and will provide the newest state-of-the-art procedures in the region. Dr. Steinke is fellowship trained in spine and brings prestigious credentials to the center. Dr. Steinke is a gifted physician and contributor to orthopedic textbooks and will see patients starting in April. Call 618-242-3778 or visit their informative website at orthocenter-si.com.
This is your home for Rams Radio, WMIX.
And we welcome you back on your home for Rams Radio, WMIX Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jesse Clark is back at the powerhouse of Mount Vernon, pushing all the buttons. Here comes the first pitch of the inning. That's going to be a strike on the inside corner. To the top of the order, Ron Wisnaski, Lawrence Morris, Brent Gibbs to start us off. 0-1, of course, count to the Alton center fielder. Here in the third, or bottom half of the third inning, I should say. Rams are on top 6-1 here. 0-1. This is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
People are listening. Give us a shout out on Twitter at 94 Sports. Go to our Facebook page, WMIX Sports. Like to hear from you.
1-1. It's going to be a ground ball, third base side, picked up perfectly by Zonders. Rifles across the diamond in time to get the speedy Wisnaski. Here in the third, there's 1 away now for Lawrence Moore. I'm going to start calling him Larry for short. Hope he's okay with that. Larry Moore will stand in. It's just easier to say. Of course, we will have to have the dubious honor of picking the Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game at the Bean Insurance Post-Game Show. Easier said than done. Your community, your choice, your bank with 5 locations with friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs. Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC. Bunted foul. Would have been perfectly if it could have stayed fair. Moore will have to return to the plate where he will have an 0-1 count with 1 gone and the base is empty because playing back and deep was Zane Zonders. Anthus would have had to have come off the hill. Garrett would have had to have gone around the bat that is blown back from the batter who had bunted. So probably safe at first. Would have been more if he could have kept it inside that foul line.
Engel, that was awful. Don't worry about that.
See what happens on 0-1. He's not going to try it again. He'll swing through 0-2. So smart baseball. That eliminates the possibility of the bunt. 1 out, base is empty. Bottom of the third inning. The Rams still on top 6-1 after scoring all 6 in the top half of the second. 0-2's coming outside. Good waste pitch that time. Gets through the 5-hole of Grant Garrett out there. 1-2. Blues and Kings in the Western Conference semis. Good to see the St. Louis Blues get the big win, 3-1. Come from behind fashion over San Jose on Saturday night. 1-2's coming. Ground ball, third base side. Saunders again. Picks it up, rifles in time.
Yep. And this is why he was out. You could tell that Moore's got the speed to get down there. And they will tell you time and time again to run through the bag. Don't slide, don't leap at it. His next to last step, he made a leap at it, which put him in the air, which slowed him down, which cost him a half a step, which is the reason he was out.
Exactly right. As Cole better just to hurry up and get off the bag as well. Try to lure the out. Gibbs will step in, 2 out, nobody on. His last time up, he was the first strikeout when the Rams were in a very precarious position there in the first inning. Wisniewski has been the difference thus far. He singled and scored back in the first. He led off the game with that single. Moore advanced him on a single. As it's a strike on the inside corner. Looks like a curveball that time for Mantis. 0-1. Make that 1-on-1. My apologies. See what happens on the 1-1, 2 outs, base is empty. It's going to be a ground ball short this side. Still left side of the infield. Jones will make the play to first. And 1-2-3 go the Redbirds. Still 6-1 through 3. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crown View in Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depend on your hometown professionals. Pekin Insurance.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
For more content, like WMIX Sports on Facebook. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back, Rams Baseball. We head to the top half of the 4th inning for Mount Vernon. Looks like top of the order coming. It'll be Zach Jones, Landon Thomas, and Zane Zonders. Here for Mount Vernon in the top of the 4th, up 6-1. Rams Baseball is presented in part by Second Chance Auto. You can find them on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. They are your home for the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles, priced at $10,000 in one location. Again, that location happens to be Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon, home of bank rate financing as well for everyone. Here's Hugo with Danny Czerwinski, Jesse Clark back to the powerhouse in Mount Vernon. Glad to have you with us on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com, where you can also follow us on Twitter at 94Sports. And you can find us on Facebook, Facebook.com/WMIX Sports. Also, not to throw too much information at you, but if you like a lot of sports stuff, you can find it on our website, the WMIX website at MyWithersRadio.com. If you go to our sports tab, you'll find some of the video highlights from our basketball season. You'll also find on our YouTube channel, which you can access through that same corridor of links, some archived broadcasts. The Woodlawn State Championship game, the Mount Vernon Rams Basketball Regional Championship from 2008. Just all kinds of random archives. We're working on getting that updated to try to get just about everything we have in our repertoire. So much. It's so little time to get it all up there.
Something going on here in their home plate. Tom Fulkerson talking with home plate umpire. Another clerical issue going on here.
As we will have a new pitcher, Jeremiah Forbes.
How Alton's going to use this game, kind of like Mount Vernon did with Benton early in the year. Everybody's going to throw.
As Jones will get it started, the first pitch from Forbes. It'll miss outside, 1-0. And Jones will pop it up left side. It scoots out to the outfield. Calling off the shortstop will be Moore to make a grab, and that'll retire Jones first out of the inning.
That's what you got to do as the left fielder come in and help your infielders out, call them off, and make a hard out be easy.
I kind of wonder if that wasn't necessarily the plan, to have multiple pitchers. But when the first pitcher got into trouble, kind of had to go that route, as it'll be 1-0 to Thomas. He'll take on the inside corner. Left-hander gets ahead of the count. Not a bad line for Baldridge, however, in his 1 inning of work. Leads with an ERA of 0 and a whip of 1. As it's a good inning. Not bad. Across the plate this time, down the middle to Thomas. Count evens himself up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Glad to have you with us here on WMIX. As Thomas will slice one towards left center. Will it drop? Giving chase and almost making a diving grab was with Maskey. Taking second base. Thomas going to give it an effort. Dives head first. Probably about a little earlier than he needed to dive, but that turf has carried him right on in there.
Well, new turf, we saw that at DuQuoin back in late March, where guys were sliding to and through and past bags, and you could see that time Thomas slid in early and kind of took a nosedive towards second base, but was able not to injure himself, as the Rams have a runner at second and 1 out after the double.
After the scores up here, agree that it is a double.
Gosh, yes.
Zonders will take a first pitch strike across the outside corner. 1 out, a runner in scoring position. He had a 2 RBI single his last time up at the second.
Wisniewski had to run 6 miles here on this ballpark to get that one.
He almost came up with an impressive dazzling grab. Nothing to 1 coming. Zonders waits for it, rips it towards left. Moore will give chase. He'll make the grab. Retreating to second base will be landed Thomas 2 away.
Zonders hit that right on the nose. It was just right at the left fielder Moore, and catch was made. Zonders can't complain about that, AB. Hit it hard, just right at somebody.
Don't get caught looking in an embarrassing situation. Make sure you've opted in your debit card for overdraft purchases. Enter banking with local style. Member FDIC. They bring you Rams and Lady Rams Athletics here on WMIX and online at mywithersradio.com. Runner on second, 2 outs for Grant. Garrett steps in, swings through, went low that time, chases after, 0-1. Hands a little cold?
Well, it's hard to keep them warm and tight, you know.
I got you. You need that for a second?
Well, you know, if you're hogging it down there, then we'll share all people.
Well, you can't have it too long. Nothing that wants to count. You have more stuff to bundle up than I do.
Well, that's your fault for not bringing anything.
No, it's not. Owen wants to count. Catches the outside corner. Nothing to do. That's PPP on it, so I just assumed it was for me.
Yeah. I could come up with some other letters for that at times.
We'll discuss them on the break. 0-2 the count. 2 gone. Runner on second base here in the 4th. Rams up 6-1. I guess this will miss the outside. Looked a little low that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Seriously, if you need it for a while, go ahead.
I've got to keep the hands going for the social media. That's the problem. I can't burn my phone up.
Well, and I'd rather not have it on your headset cord either.
Here, I got to warm up and more important things. Hang on. This is much better.
I was looking around to see if there was another one in here. That might be the personal effects of one of the fellows we follow on Twitter. Yeah. Here comes 1-2, just low, it would appear.
I think they made a Christmas song about this one time.
I believe you might be right.
It was frosty. I just got to keep the hands warm so I can keep us updated on social media.
Also impacts your handwriting. 2-2's coming. Ground ball, third base side. Picking it up is Spurgeon. He'll fire across the diamond inside, but that's who that is over there. We are through 3.5. Still 6-1 Rams. This is Mountain Baseball on WMIX.
Hi, Roy Schmidt, Chrysler dealer at King City Chrysler Center. In my 25 years in the automobile business, I have never seen incentives as good as they are right now on Chrysler vehicles through Ally Financial. Receive 0% for up to 84 months, plus $3,000 cash back on 2012 Chrysler 200 sedans. And if that's not good enough, how about on 2012 Dodge Ram 1500 full-size pickups, receive 0% for up to 84 months, plus $3,500 cash back. Also, for minivan customers right now, receive 1.9 for up to 84 months, plus incentives up to $2,750 cash back. That's right, you get both 0% for up to 84 months, plus the rebates. Hurry into King City Chrysler Center today and find the 200 sedan, Ram 1500 pickup, or minivan you like while the inventory is great at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where you can count on us.
Back to Rams Baseball, powered by Banterra Bank.
And we welcome you back to Rams Baseball. Bottom of the 4th we go. For Alton, it'll be Shane Matthews, Ray Bailey, and the 6th spot here as the middle of the order comes up, as I believe they might have switched around in the batting order for the Redbirds, as I did not see Niall Spurgeon. I announced his name, just making the play at third, but that did not appear to be Spurgeon making the grab. So starting us off will be the lefty Shane Matthews. He grounded out to second, back of the first, but it was the RBI that scored with Maskey. That singled to start the game, then came around to score on the RBI by Shane Matthews. So we'll see what happens here. 6-1 your score, Rams on top. home half of the fourth inning on the road to the neutral site here, GCS Ballpark. Inside takes Matthews. And it'll be ball one, just a little inside, belt high.
Anthony has only thrown 36 pitches through 3 innings, a very efficient first part of the ball game.
Rams will take it.
A lot of pitchers will take it.
Here comes the 1-0. Catches the outside corner to Matthews that time. The left-hander, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ice starting to take effect here.
Yes, sir. 1-1's coming. Ground ball softly hit foul, first base side. Behind the count now, Matthews 1-2. We can start getting a scoreboard update in.
Whatever you want.
Give me as many as you have to allow time for play-by-play.
St. Paul, Centralia 3-2 over Belleville East. Effingham over North Clay 8-2. T-Town over South Central 7-0.
Of course, as we await the 1-2 pitch here to Matthews. Takes inside 2-2. Go ahead.
Continuing on, Benton beat Harrisburg 6-5. Murphy over West Frankfort 7-1. And Nashville over DuQuoin 4-3. We'll have softball after this turf play.
2-2. Let's see what happens. Nobody out. Matthews gets it started. Home half of the fourth. A 6-1 ball game. Rams on top, and he will miss that foul.
Softball scores. Salem beat Mount Vernon 4-3. Wayne City over Woodlawn 5-2. Pinckneyville over Sparta 10-7. And DuQuoin beat Nashville 3-2.
That's a big win for the DuQuoin Lady Indians over the Nashville Hornets. Softball action. They've now split that season series in the Mississippi Division of the River to River. 2-2 is on its way with nobody out. That is going to be a fair ball, left field side. Clayton Reeves will make the grab on the run. Let me tell you that State Farm agent Tony Wilt brings you the scoreboard update. See him for all your insurance and financial service needs. You can find him on the web at TonyWilt.com. Walk in, call in, or click in. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So 1 away now here in the fourth. Nobody aboard for Ray Bailey. One of the number 25s here on the roster. Takes one inside, just misses low. Breaking pitch that time is 1-0. 6-1. Redbirds score their first run, the home half of the fourth. We're at the home half of the fourth. Woof. As the Rams came back a half inning later to take a 6-1 lead. 1-1's the count. Ray Bailey, a right-hand bat, grounded out to second his last time up to end the first. He'll swing through another one, low pitch that time, 1-2. That is Zach Moxie on deck. Number 20 took the place of Mal Spurgeon. Swinging through, another off-speed pitch that time. We'll get the batter, Ray Bailey. 4 strikeouts of the day now for Jared Anthony.
He is feeling. And on a cold night like this, when
he knows the Dodgers and Braves are on at 9. That's what that is.
And he's on from the ravine. We got to get home, as they say.
As the Rams apparently were not contacted about the switch.
Tom Fulkerson wanted to rut out in that new turf down there, trying to get everything under control.
Rams very fortunate to have Tom Fulkerson. Not only does he keep the book, but the instruction he provides to a lot of the pitching staff, and also a great hitting coordinator as well. Tommy's just all around knowledgeable about the game of baseball. I think that's probably an understatement. As Moxie will stand in. Let's see if he has some Moxie here at the plate. He'll take low and away for ball 1. I'm more curious to see is if we're going to have, as there's another pitch hitter on deck, Jordan Bothbach. This is going to be a little foul. Back near us to our right. Over the red Shane Deep suite. And it's 1-1. The suites here at GCS are named after local guys and baseball legends as well. 1-1. Catches the outside corner to Moxie, and it's 1-2. Of course, red Shane Deep just kind of happens to be a combination of the two, local guy and baseball legend. From nearby Germantown, Illinois, 1-2 coming. Oh, well outside. Good ways pitching him. 2-2 evens the count, however. This spot in the order when it was Mal Spurgeon flew out to center field. 2-2 gone. Bases empty, and that is going to be line foul, right field side, well out of play to the barn. Moxie trying to keep the inning alive. Bottom of the fourth, 6-1 Ram lead here at Sauget. Fouled back. Going to increase that pitch count on Jared Anthony.
Yeah, but they're not getting much on him, though.
It'll be Young, Metter, and Williams due up for the Rams in the top of the fifth. See what happens here as we're near the 8 o'clock hour now. This is fouled off again to the Crappers. It's invented by John Crapper, by the way, so you can say that. The other one you can't say. 2-2 the count, 2 gone, bases are empty.
One invented by Sam.
Yeah, full count. Or Shell. Or as what may have been full in Christmas Vacation.
Right.
Full count, 2 gone, bases still empty. I can't imagine that scene because I'll laugh every time. Here it comes. I'm immature. It'll be a 2-out walk squeeze on the count.
Yowzer.
And that'll put Moxie aboard for a pinch hitter here in the form of Jordan Bodenbach.
Predictions of instant classic being proposed on local.com about the Benton-Harrisburg game today.
I don't know about that, but maybe.
Yeah, you know.
Weren't there. Wasn't there. Won't go. 1 on, 2 out now for Bodenbach, the right-hander. He takes a strike right across the plate. Trying not to become the 5th strikeout victim for Jared Anthony. Jared is 6-0 on the year, looking for win number 7. I assume he'll get a conference start next week against somebody. 0-1 coming. Takes a strike across the outside corner. Bodenbach has his knees locked that time. No balls, 2 strikes for Bodenbach. A runner on first here with 2 gone. Bottom of the 4th, a 6-1 Ram lead. Here comes Anthony next. That's going to be fouled off. Reaches out to get it. Pushed it back to the backstop netting. Done a lot of renovations. I understand that like somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million in renovations. Here at GCS Ballpark. Start to say rent one.
We'll be there eventually.
Yeah, we will. They treat us very well here at GCS Ballpark. Of course, Jeff O'Neill, among others. Take real good care of us. 1 and 2 now as Bodenbach took it high. In this spot in the order was Clint Kress, struck out back in the second. Backwards K was the second victim of Jared Anthony. Try not to become number 5. Fouled back on the 1-2 with the runner going and 2 gone. We'll do it again. Community First Bank of the Heartland will have your player of the game in the post-game show. Familiar faces, new places make us Ray Hanbury at Community First Bank's new 42nd Street location in Mount Vernon. And welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC. 1-2. Here on Bodenbach. 2 gone. Runner on first base, and he will pop that up into the outfield. Actually, it'll drift on further as Matthew Williams will make the grab. We are through 4. It is 6-1 Mount Vernon. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we needed help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
How do you spend your Saturday mornings? Wake up, grab coffee, get something to eat? Why not add a little WMIX Saturday Sports Show to your Saturday? From 8:08 until 10 o'clock, we have guests, discussion, and fun involving the regional sports topics that matter to you. It's the pick-me-up you need to start your morning off right. It's the Saturday Sports Show every single week on WMIX AM 940 and online at mywithersradio.com. Presented by Crossroads Community Hospital. This is your home for Rams Radio, WMIX.
And we welcome you back, Rams Baseball, WMIX online at mywithersradio.com as we head to the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Young, Metter, and Williams due up here for the Rams. 6-1 is your score. The Rams scored all 6 back in the second. First pitch will be a floater swung on, missed by Young. 0-1 in the count. Let's get a Mount Vernon scoreboard update.
Mount Vernon scoreboard update. Mount Vernon loses to Salem 4-3 in softball. Mount Vernon beats Salem 7-0 in soccer. The JV baseball team loses here today to Alton 17-7.
As Young will foul that back over the first base dugout, out of play. Fans don't have a chance. 0-2. Scoreboard updates presented by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance, for all of your insurance financial service needs. Find Tony Wilt on the corner of 42nd South Watertown, Mount Vernon, or online at TonyWilt.com or in the red Jeep about town. Can't miss it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. As the 0-2 in the turf and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Young. He is 0 for 1 today. He was plunked back in the second, later scored, and he struck out today as well. We'll get aboard here to start off the fifth. Rams trying to squeeze past these Alton Redbirds in a neutral site game, looking for win number 18. Young sends that opposite way, charging hard as the right fielder who can't make the grab. Edwards trapped it. And aboard with his first base hit today is Colin Young.
Sixth hit for Mount Vernon today on 6 runs. Very efficient effort by the Rams.
No doubt about that. Maybe a little chilly, but it is a great night for baseball. Feels more like Major League postseason weather. Or early Major League season weather, early high school season weather. As Metter stands in, immediately pops it up. Foul ball, third base side, unable to come up with his Moxie. For the reason Moxie was put in, Moxie has the same issue.
Yep. He looks up. I mean,
what can you do?
Ball goes up like that. The lights have taken effect. You can pretty well see it's a cloudy night or a clear night sky. No reason to really miss that one.
Of course, 1 minute past the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll take care of that in just a moment. 0-1 is the count. Nobody out here. A runner on first base in the top half of the fifth. Rams up 5. They'll check on the runner. Young, it'll get away. Young will take second base as it gets away from the first baseman. With that said, we will go ahead and pause for station identification. This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball.
You're listening to Rams Baseball on AM 940 WMIX, Mount Vernon, Carbondale, Cape Girardeau, and online at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
There you have it. Runner on second base after the error. With Metter standing in and a 0-1 count, nobody out. Here comes an RBI chance. He'll foul it off to the backstop. 0-2.
And that's the third Alton error. 14-5 with the competition they play. You can probably guess this is probably their most errors in the game all season.
I'd have to assume so. So 3 errors this afternoon and evening for the Alton Redbirds. Atypical from what we've gathered. Runner on second, now 0-2 count coming. Metter will swing at the off-speed stuff.
Little wrinkle floated up there into the zone, and Metter swung and missed on the Bugs Bunny 1-2-3 strikes are out.
Worth noting, this is Forbes' second inning of work.
Forbes in the high rent district.
Yeah, he is. Here comes. Reloads like a magazine. As Williams will ground to second base, but it'll advance to the runner. 4-3 for your second out.
Does a lot in the field as well.
Understatement. Very impressed with the fielding efforts of Matthew Williams.
He grounded out. Again, grounded out, cost him batting average points, but his ground out to second advanced the runner to third. And if you're going to make outs, you want to make productive outs just like those.
Wolf stands in, runner on third, 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. 6-1, Rams on top. Curve ball outside. Catches the corner. It's 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here, the top half of the fifth. Rams trying to add to the lead. That runner on third. He'll wave and miss. 0-2 here.
It's hard to swing at that curveball when half your body's heading toward the third base dugout and the other part of your body's trying to swing at it. It's a tough way to hit a off-speed pitch.
No doubt about that. Of course, the Banterra's mobile bank, and you can check your accounts online right from the bleachers. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. 0-2 outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on a waste pitch to Nathan Holt, who is 0 for 1 today. He walked and scored back in the second, ground out to third his last time up. And try to bring this run in, add some cushion to the Ram lead. 6-1 here, top 5, 2 outs, and he will do just that on a base hit, RBI single to center field. Cushion.
Mr. Holt kept himself in that at-bat, was able to get those hands through, keep that front party part in, and drive that ball to center field for the 7th run, the 7th hit for Mount Vernon.
That'll bring up Clayton Reeves. He reached on an error back in the second, also scored. Popped up to second base his last time up. Looking to advance this runner on first base and also reach safely himself with 2 outs. Swings and misses first offering, falls behind 0-1. Seven runs on 7 hits for the Rams, no errors. 1 run on 2 hits, 3 errors for the Redbirds as they'll throw behind the runner on one that was inside and low to Reeves.
A lot of damage just from the bottom of the order, too. Williams, Holt, Reeves have all scored a run apiece. So it's good to see top to bottom today in the order against a Class 4A school like Alton. Damage being done in all parts of the order.
Amen. Reeves will chase after the 0-2 with first base empty. Should have had to have applied a tag. Well, I guess the runner was going. And that'll do us through 4.5. It's 7-1 Rams. This is Mount Vernon Baseball on WMIX.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, are you thinking of starting your own business? Or maybe you already own your own business and have tax questions? Call Heartland Accounting today. At Heartland Accounting, we specialize in small business planning. Let us help you with your business bookkeeping, sales taxes, payroll taxes, or maybe just some solid business advice. Get started right and let us help you make your business a success. Call Heartland Accounting of Mount Vernon today at 244-7077 or stop by 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B.
This is Mike Reese. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back to Rams Baseball. We head to the home half of the 5th inning. Due up, it'll be 8-9-1. Luke Edwards spot in the order. We'll get us started. And misses outside to Nick Palda. Another pinch hitter, It's 1-0. Comes outside, catches the corner. 1-1 strike here to Nick Palda, the pinch hitter for Luke Edwards. Counts even. He gets it started with Halliday and Wisnaski's spot due up as a pinch hitter on deck for Halliday. Not in my roster. This is going to be popped up, right field side, out of play. There you go.
Gloves and mittens and scarves and coats and blankets all out here tonight in the ballpark. See a lot of people spread out watching the game.
Technical by going green. Banterra offers free online bill pay and online statements. Banterra Bank, thank you with local style, brings you Rams Baseball. You're on WMIX, 1-2 count, nobody on, nobody out for Palda, and he will ground one towards third. Zonders picks it up on the run, fires to first in time. 5-3, retires the pinch hitter. So number 19, not on the roster. Wonder if he is one of our 25s. See if I can find it on that one website, or if you have a chance to maybe
19.
Check it out on the website, since you have a computer possibly.
Well, let's see here.
Still lagging behind.
You know how 4G is so awesome?
Yes.
I tell you that right now.
Yeah, I am still lagging behind in the 3G Stone Age, my friend. That'll change the fly.
4G is coming late summer, early fall, what I heard the other day at the Verizon place.
Seems to always change.
That does.
One gone for the pinch hitter. He'll foul it back. Bases are empty, of course. It's not the one.
That was somewhere. Oh, there it goes. Off the pavilion, that's out pavilion into the stands.
That's my community service for the day.
You don't get, there is no number 19 listed on any website that
Will Lewis batting for Matt Holliday.
Yeah.
How about that assumption?
Will looks like an underclassman.
Nothing in one coming. Oh, gets away, low and away. 1-1 strike. What we got here?
Anything going on over there?
JRK checks in.
Really?
Yeah.
He's checking in from the coast.
Checking in from the West Coast. 1-1. He clearly thinks that I'm in front of a TV right now. That's going to be sick.
Right.
Get in the outfield. Does Matty Williams make the grab?
Nope.
He had to come around behind Zach Jones, who didn't see it, and he was unable to hold on.
I'm going to give a hit because he should not have had to carry all the way over there. The shortstop and the center fielder should have had to make that play. Center field shortstop has precedence over the second baseman. Center fielder has precedence over the middle infielders. Nobody called. Nobody made that catch. One that got away.
So that'll be the third Redbird base hit here.
Is he checking on social media or with a text?
That was a text message. JRK fails to understand he has like 5 games winning from me on Words with Friends. As that will miss outside. It's 1-0.
And the unfortunate thing about that ball getting dropped is the fact that the top of the order comes up now for Alton.
Wisnaski still in the lineup for the Redbirds. Runner on first, 1 out. We're at the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 7-1 ball game. Rams on top. Added some cushion there. They're half the 5th. And just looking out of the inning. Hopefully a double play ball. If that will be popped up on a bunt. And this will make the sliding grab. Not the kind of grab you necessarily want your ace to make. He'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
2 away.
Collision written all over that if you're not careful. But both guys avoided each other, which is good news.
So that will bring up Lawrence Moore. He is 1 for 2 today. Singled in the first, grounded out the third his last time up, back in the 3rd inning. tell him he can tune in online.
Yeah, why don't you let him know? We'd like to have a West Coast listener.
Had some from Italy a while back. As this will catch the outside? No, it doesn't. This is low. It catches the corner, but it's low to more. 1-0. 2 outs. A runner on first base. Bottom 5. It's a 7-1 ball game. Rams Baseball presented in part due to kind folks like those at Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Proud supporters of the Rams. Of course, you're also your home for bank rate financing on their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles. Priced for $10,000 in one location. Outside corner that time to more. Counts even. 1 ball, 1 strike. In this case, we'll see if more happens to be less. Up low this time. 2 balls and a strike. I'm inviting him online. I spell baseball. JRK, of course, the most famous 3 initials. The class of 2001 was our student body president. I guess most people just call him Perth. Only hear from him once in a while. 2-1's going to be fouled back. Counts even. 2 balls, 3 strikes.
Busy out there. 6 o'clock on the coast.
Many remember his city council run from 2003 as a something. 20, 19?
Yeah, something.
Runner on first, 2 outs, a 2-2 count on Larry Moore. Anthony's trying to get another strikeout today. It'll be a ground ball to short, just what you want. He'll fire on the first. Jones's throw just in time. Wow. 6-3 retires a Speedy Moore, and we are through 5 as the Redbirds strand another. 7-1 Rams. This is Bound for the Baseball on WMIX.
Life is no easy task for anyone. We all want to better ourselves and our financial situation. Feel like you're going nowhere? Or just ready for a new challenge? Or wanting the college experience without going deeper into debt? Regardless of your answer, Rend Lake College is your vehicle to a brighter future. With over 100 degree and certificate programs, Rend Lake College can put you on the fast track to a new career or to continue your education. More affordable than 4-year universities and private schools, you can save thousands of dollars at Rend Lake College. Summer courses begin June 4th and are already open for registration. Get some of your core courses out of the way during the summer months. Smaller class sizes mean more focus on you and a laid-back atmosphere allowing you the challenge of a great college experience without going deeper into debt. Rend Lake College's counselors are always on hand to help guide you to your new opportunity. Call 437-5321 to set up an appointment or log on to rlc.edu for more information.
For more insight, follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports. Back to the Rams on WMIX.
And we welcome you back in time for the top half of the 6th inning. Rams on top of the Alton Redbirds by a score of 7-1. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. We're glad to have you with us here on WMIX and online at mywithersradio.com as we head again to the 6th. Marked as the 7th in my book because I forgot to scratch out the 7th and put the 6th. Had to go in that extra column. Here in the very invaluable Bob Carpenter scorebook. How about our boy Bob Carpenter? What haven't I told you? He was a reporter for the 1992 Major League Baseball expansion draft at Denver. Apparently did not trust him enough in Miami, so they sent him to Denver. That's just a guess, but Bob Carpenter, a very trustworthy gentleman. Of course, I act as if I know Robert personally. Had one of the 18 bazillion calls on the Mark McGwire record-breaking home run, though I recall.
There's a lot.
Yes, he has.
Good to see the Nationals play on a regular basis.
That he does. Jones will get us started. Takes one low and away. The left-hander ahead in the count here. 1 ball, no strikes. We have a new pitcher, of course, for Alton. That's going to be ripped into right field for a leadoff base hit for Jones. He's thinking 2, and that's where he will go. He's going to test out the arm of the right fielder. And he'll be out by a country mile instead of throw gets away.
Yep.
My, oh, my.
Well, he put 2 hands down, make sure the tag and not get lazy. This is a game where the Alton coaching staff cannot be happy with the lackadaisical effort that Alton has put out here on the field, on the bases, and at the plate. Not been their night.
Your new pitcher is a southpaw, Brad Henry. Jeremiah Forbes pitched 2 innings. Which that stat line a little bit later. RBI chance for another lefty. It'll be Landon Thomas. He'll take a first pitch strike on the outside corner, falling behind 0-1. Lead off the postseason with a Banterra Bank free checking account. Banterra Bank is banking with local style. Member FDIC. They bring you the vast array of Rams athletics we bring you here on WMIX. Lefty against lefty. 0-1 is on its way. Misses high and tight. 1 ball with 1 strike.
Somebody knocking on the press box door.
Got to be careful. Got to keep that thing held open, otherwise it will slam shut.
Yeah.
Clearly stated. 1-1's coming. Check swing. Thomas could not hold back, and it caught the outside corner anyway. 1-2.
Alton needs their CDs back. The Gamber boys are afraid of the Gamber boys stealing them.
It's probably their first contribution to the music up here in about 6 years. 1-1's the count to Thomas. He'll offer at it. Actually, it's 1-2 as we got behind. It's a strikeout here. First of the afternoon for the lefty, Brad Henry. Don't know much about Brad Henry. We know he wears number 9. He's a lefty. Those shoes remind me of Barry Zito, as that's going to be fouled back on 1.
That's the only thing memorable about Barry Zito right now.
Well, you get paid, and you make some mistakes.
You get paid, and you get a little lackadaisical.
That'll happen. You wear awkward numbers. 0-1's the count. Here it comes to Zonders. He'll foul another one off. 0-2. 1 out, runner on second base here for the Rams, trying to get another insurance run. Top of the 6th, 7-1 your score. In case you're just joining us here on Rams Radio, we got started about an hour late. 6:57 was your first pitch. It's about, I don't know what, it's 57 degrees at the moment.
Yeah.
0-2 with the runner going. Saunders will wave at it and miss, and safe at third on the stolen base is Zach Jones. Almost a strike him out, throw him out. 2 strikeouts on the inning for Henry. This will bring up Grant Garrett. Garrett's had a pretty auspicious afternoon. He is 2 for 3 with a couple of doubles. The run scored back in the 2nd inning.
Lady Rams lost today. The Annies lost today as well, 7-3 to Mater Dei.
You have 2 hungry teams there tomorrow afternoon at Rotary Park. Here comes the first pitch to Garrett. He takes high, 1-0. Help make your kids' future a victory. Teach them the importance of saving today with Banterra's Smart Kids Savings Account. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. 1-0 the count here to the right-handed bat, Grant Garrett. Looking to bring the runner on third home. 2 outs, he'll take inside, below, 2-0. We'll get you some more scoreboard updates throughout the rest of the day. We'll take care of that. We already just gave you one, presented by Tony Wilt. We'll do a better one probably in the bottom half of the 6th. Try to get you set. Henry gets set. Out of the stretch he comes, high and tight to Garrett. Hitters count 3-0. None too shabby. For the Redbirds, it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 spots coming up at the top of the next inning. Bottom of the next inning, rather, as I have this on the home side of my book because I assumed wrong. It'll be a 4-pitch walk to Garrett. This runner's at the corners now with 2 outs for Colin Young. He had a single and scored back an inning ago. Gets another chance here. We'll have a visit to the mound driven by King City Chrysler Center. Of course, report from Detroit to Mount Vernon, the Chrysler 200 extends well beyond its mid-sized shadow with character, comfort, and fuel efficiency. Receive huge cash discounts on the all-new remaining 200s at King City Chrysler in Mount Vernon. So we'll have a chat, as Garrett will be replaced by a courtesy runner, typically Hayden Paninsky. That's not appear to be whom it is.
That's out there called take one for the team, son. We're down 7-1 in a game that means nothing. You're going to throw.
Speaking of you're gonna, at the bat. So Bradford stands in, runner on first, runner on third. They're at the corners here with 2 outs at the 6th. He'll take inside, 1-0. Loda stands on deck behind Bradford here at the plate. 1-0's your count with 2 gone. They'll check on the runner at first. I'm assuming that's Tyler Ellis.
Yes, it is.
His performance was nothing but intestinal fortitude. A very man-like performance on Thursday in that win against Alton. Jones freezes there off of third base. Throw doesn't get far enough away from the catcher. Right side of the plate. So 2-0 is the count. Patrick Bradford. 2 gone, runners at the corners here in the 6th. Of course, you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, WMIX Sports, Twitter at 94 Sports. We're pretty busy, 2 and 1. Of course, I say we, and it's very liberal we. I put the occasional update on there. As we wait the 2-1 from Henry. Looks into Bradford after looking towards first. That's going to be across the corner of the plate to the right-handed bat, 2-2. Eek. 7-1. Looked like the Rams might struggle a bit against these Alton Redbirds, coming in 14-5 on the year. Gives that run to first and then scores 6 in the second. Now on top 7-1. As that is inside the low to Bradford. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners in the corners, 2 gone. RBI chance for Pat the Bat in a very spacious outfield here at GCS Ballpark. Off of Mooseset Lane, exit 15 off of I-255. Full count coming. There it is from Henry. Bradford's going to send this towards the right center. Right fielder will not make the grab. Another error. Jones comes around to score. Here comes the second run. It'll be 9-1 Rams off another Alton error.
Wow. I mean, that's 2 or 3, Chris, that have been point blank in the midst of fielders, and that's the 4th Alton error by my count, and Mount Vernon goes up 9-1, and thoughts of short game come to your mind now, hearing this.
Of course, we will seek a Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game. With 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts, Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC, it's 9-1. Trevor Floater will stand in for Colton Metter. Left-handed pitcher Henry on for his first day of work. He'll get floated to chase on an outside pitch, 0-1. Interesting.
14-5 team, you know that this is not what you would normally see out of an Alton team. We've heard a lot of good things about them.
No, sir. As we're ready for the 0-1. Out of the stretch comes Henry. Floater will take high, 1-1.
We have made an acquaintance over the last few games.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. Just trying to update my booksy here. Having trouble doing it. Here comes Flota on the 1-1. Sends that to center. It could be trouble. But making the grab on the run is Wisnaski, always reliable. And we are through 5 1/2. It's 9-1 Mount Vernon. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Hey, John, freeze! John, what the heck are you doing?
Mike, you told me to freeze, so I stopped moving.
I meant give me that freeze highlight, big boy.
Swing and a high drive to center field. Get up, baby. Get up, baby. Get up. Oh, yeah. David Freeze has just sent us into game number 7.
I can hear that thing all day long. Listen to the Cardinals. It's Cardinal Baseball on today's Hot Country, 50,000 watt WMIX FM.
What a night. What an evening of baseball.
Is your mortgage rate higher than you want it to be? Hi, this is Joy Schrader, mortgage specialist with People's National Bank in Mount Vernon. If you have a high interest rate on your mortgage, you need to give me a call at 241-6928 to discuss refinancing your mortgage loan, or stop by People's National Bank at 413 South 34th Street for details. People's National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Let's go back to the field, powered by Banterra Bank.
And we welcome you back, GCS Ballpark in Sauget, where the Mount Vernon Rams have a 9-1 lead over the Alton Redbirds, heading to the home half of inning number 6. 2 up for all. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 spots. Brent Gibbs, the catcher headed to Indiana next fall, will lead us off, so he'll be a Hoosier. Yep. Yeah. Thoughts on Indiana baseball? Okay. Nay?
Or basketball, or...
How's it going there?
They're going to be good next year in basketball.
That they will. Ants is on for another inning worth of work, while Alton has burned through four pitchers thus far. First pitch to the right-handed Gibbs. This is low and away. It'll be ball 1. We're on the air tomorrow, 4:15 pregame from Rotary Park at Centralia as Lady Rams softball makes its return to WMIX. Also online, as always, at mywithersradio.com. First 2 Lady Rams games we'll have for you this week. 1-0's coming. It's inside. 2 balls, no strikes now to Brent Gibbs.
74 pitches coming into this inning to Mr. Hampton.
See what he gets out of the inning with. Here in the 6th. 2-0's coming. And that's going to be lined towards right center field. Thomas can't come up with it. It's off the tip of his glove, hits the fence. Around second, maybe towards third, will go Gibbs, and he is going to go ahead and jump. Here comes the relay, and he is out by a mile as long as the tag is applied, and he is safe. The Rams not get the tag.
Oh, my. How did he miss?
He had 5-6 chances to get him and couldn't come up with it. It's Sawyer Harrison who came on.
And the umpire was right there. I mean, he was right there. You have to go with the umpire because he was standing there, I guess.
He's right. I
don't think he got it. Here's what tells me on that is when you reach in and you pull it back out, then you go in again, that the umpire is going to read that the third baseman was guilty because he didn't get the tag down. That's what it tells me.
Right.
As a third baseman, you reach in and pull back out and make the umpire take the call.
So you don't keep trying. No. Here it comes inside low. It's 1-0 to Shane Matthews, left-handed bat. Had an RBI ground out. It's back in the first inning. That's thus far has been the only scoring for the Redbirds. No outs, runner on third here in the sixth. Rams up 9-1. And here comes the next one. That's going to be fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Shane Matthews.
Not an error, but again, it's one of those deals where you stick that glove in, you pull it right back out, and you don't think twice about it. Make that umpire say, "Oh, you got him? Okay." How you sell the thing sometimes, not only in sports, but in sports entertainment as well.
There you go. 1-1's coming as it is Monday night. That's going to be the low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Here to Shane Matthews. Flew out to left his last time up. For all your insurance, financial service needs, see Tony Wilt. He's on the corner of 42nd South Water Tower, Mount Vernon, or TonyWilt.com. Proud sponsors of our scoreboard updates. Like your good neighbor, State Farm is there. Make it 3-1 as that's low and inside. Here to the batter, Matthews.
Don't want to fall apart now. Played too well too long to have the wheels come off for any reason.
Of course, we have Sawyer Harrison on third base. Trevor Flota stayed in to play first. I cannot see well enough. That does look like Zach Jones there. At short, still is Matthew Williams. At second base. Thomas is still in center, to my knowledge. Here comes. And that's going to be to the shortstop and past Jones, and that will allow a run to score. As you do have to award an error there. He's 6.
Did it hit his glove?
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah, deflected into the outfield.
I didn't think he even got close to it.
Oh, yeah.
Looked for me like here he didn't even touch it, but all righty.
That'll allow a run to score.
Looked to me like he never got to it, let the ball come up on him and got by him. That's what it looked like from this angle. Things get sloppy and ugly here.
Runner on first, nobody out for the right-handed bat. Bailey. He'll take a strike across the outside corner, 0-1.
Shoddy defense here by the Rams in this inning. Very uncharacteristic.
Up 9-2 as we near the bottom of the hour here on WMIX. Glad to have you with us, of course. Next one's on the way. Ground ball too short. Backhanded by Jones. He'll fire across. Good play there for the 6-3. Retires Bailey. And we'll see who the next batter is for the Redbirds.
Previous inning, center fielder drops that fly ball to center. Can of corn. Next ball goes right back to him. Ground ball finds Jones. Boots it up, messes it up a little bit. Next pitch, ball goes right back to Jones. It's funny how this game of baseball works and where that baseball find people at.
Re-entering the lineup is Niles Spurgeon. 0 for 1 today. He's popped out to center his last time up. Has an RBI chance with the runner on second, 1 out. A 9-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. Kansas trying to get out of the inning here. Looks for a strike across the outside corner. That's what we'll get. Great location. One gone, runner on second base here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Alton's already plated a runner here in their half. Here comes the next one on the way. Ground ball to short. Jones will pick it up, fires across the diamond. Flota can't come up, and then a run will score. Throw is wide right. Flota tried to stay on the bag to come up with it. The runner will advance.
It has not been a defensive masterpiece. By my count, it's an official 6 errors in the game. 2 for the Rams, 4 for Alton, as it's now 9-2.
And we will have a visit to the mound.
And it's frustrating for a starting pitcher to know your defense has been so good all year, and then the wheels come apart here.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. This is a mound Tim Holloway driven by Ford Square. There's nothing more attractive than confidence, and yours will be at an all-time high when you buy a new Lincoln at Ford Square. Not only do you get a great offer, you also get the standard 4-year, 50,000-mile maintenance plan only from Ford Square. We're the best never rest. Rams on top 9-3 here as Alton's played at 2 in the bottom half of the sixth inning with one out and a runner on second base. And let's see who stands in now. Clint Kress is reinserted back into the lineup. Loss of focus. Can't let it go here. Too far in. See what kind of composure Antis has. It'll come, and that'll be fisted just past the glove of Jones in the left center field. There'll be runners in the corners now and one out for the Redbirds. Double play possible for the Rams here. Going to need some defense.
Here a while ago, you were thinking about short gaming, and now thought becomes a couple more hits, and you got a gamer. What you got?
Runners at the corners, one out on a single with one out by Clint Kress. Now coming in is Luke Edwards reinserted back in the lineup. The batting order, I should say. Nice cannon by the umpire. Wow.
Threw that with padding on, clothes on, body. Across his body, threw that about 120 feet. It was a fly.
And threw it as we can. Here comes. Outside Edwards. It's 1 ball, no strikes here in the sixth. One out, runners at the corners. 2 runs have crossed the plate for the Redbirds here in the bottom half of the inning. It makes it a 9-3 ball game. With the 4th and 5th runs aboard here for run number 6 to play. Edwards will swing and miss on a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Long inning here. Probably be Antis' last inning. Starting to creep up on the 100-pitch mark.
If we're not careful, it could be a save situation.
Well, it could be, and I mean, Mount Vernon had a 9-1 lead and kind of got squirrely here in this inning.
Let's see. 1-1, we wait. Swung and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This would be a huge strikeout here for Bird if he can get number 5. 1-2, 1 gone, runners at the corners. Bottom of the 6th inning on WMIX Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting, bottom of the hour, as it'll be 2-2. It is low and away to Luke Edwards.
Frustrating. The starting pitcher, you get a couple errors behind you that you don't normally see or get done.
Frustrating indeed. Don't forget, you can like us on Facebook on WMIX Sports. You can also follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports. Went for the high heat that time. It's foul tipped in the middle of your catcher, Grant Garrett. So strikeout number 5 for Bird. 2 outs now with runners at the corners, and this will be Matt Halliday, who's been, guess what, reinserted back into the batting order.
Most importantly, though, Garrett hung on to that swing in that 3rd strike. That was huge.
Anytime you know you can rely on your catcher, that always helps the confidence in your pitcher. With runners at corners and 2 outs, the lefty Halliday takes ball 1 high. Woof, 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 woof. It is on the way to Halliday. Ground ball should be a problem for the second baseman, Williams. He'll fire to first this time. There go the Redbirds in the 6th. Pardon me, but not for this score couple. It's 9-3 Rams. This is Mountain Baseball on WMIX.
More Americans are on a move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, school, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
More baseball action ahead on WMIX and MyWithersRadio.com.
And we welcome you back on WMIX, of course, online, as you just heard, on MyWithersRadio.com. Glad to have you with us in a game that is possibly going to hit the 2-hour mark. Rams like to get in and get out in about 90 if they can, but Redbirds have had some other plans. 2 up here in the top half of inning number 7. We have the bottom of the order coming up. It'll be Matthew Williams, Josh Gately, and possibly Hayden Podensky if we go by the Rams defensively from a half inning to go. 9-3 your score as the Redbirds scored 2 in their half of the 6th. Rams are going to try to add some insurance here. Williams shows bunt. Looks like he tipped it. And a 1-0 count becomes 1-1.
I'd like to see Mount Vernon get a couple more runs.
What it hurt.
That was kind of a sloppy inning, a mental letdown inning there.
Williams is 1 for 2 today. Had an RBI single and scored back in the 2nd. Walked in the 3rd. And then ground out in the 5th. And he'll take inside this time on a fastball, 2-1. Left-hander Brad Henry is out for his 2nd inning worth of work. The rest of the defense returns to its original form for Alton. As the 2-1 misses high, 3 balls and a strike. Hitter's count here for Williams. Glad to have you with us, courtesy of Banterra Bank. For an extra base hit with Banterra's Visa debit card, it provides the convenience of a checking account and a card. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. 3-1. Outside to Williams, on base again for the 3rd time today.
Crafty is the.
This will bring up Josh Gately. Podensky moves to the on-deck circle for the Rams. As the Rams look to try to get back to the top of the order here in the 7th. 9-3 your score. Rams on top. Looking for win number 18. Gately takes the first pitch high, 1-0. It's a lot of nervous energy here. You have Gately, who's excited to be in the box, and you have Henry, who just looks nervous.
Oh.
You're on your scoreboard hunt, aren't you?
Kind of peeking around.
Multitasking. At its best. 1-0's coming. 1-0 miss. He's got the Darryl Strawberry batting stance from a right-handed perspective. At least from what I remember from Darryl Strawberry. Of course, all that nervousness may not have just been due to his bat movement. Could have been other things. Yeah. Lost. Not making that assertion here.
A good doctor is
there to clarify. 1-1. This is high. He'll throw behind the runner Williams, who beats back with a head-first dive just in the nick of time. And it's 2-1 to Gately. I think we're in between the Red Shane suites. I think there's an usual suite here. 2-1 coming. Oh, catches the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Watching Meadow here with all the planes flying in and out.
You have an extensive scoreboard update ready to go for Facebook, softball and baseball, and soccer, oh my. In the turf now to Gately. Counts full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the top half of inning number 7. Base is empty, and obviously nobody out with Gately getting us started. Rams scored 6 in the 2nd, held scoreless until the 5th, where they scored an extra. Then a pair in the 6th to make it a 9-3 ball game. Of course, Alton came back and scored a pair of their own half inning ago to make it interesting, 9-3. As the Rams are going to try to bust it open here. Here comes full count offering. Gately's going to send that out the way. It'll get into foul territory. It's out of play, rather.
Good AB. The source of Gately having a good at-bat here. Fouling multiple pitches off.
Doing what he can to try to get himself aboard. Here comes on the 3-2. That's going to be sent out the way. They could have a play here in foul territory over towards the bullpen. No play for the right fielder, Edwards, who made a nice charge towards the baseball. Count stays full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Top half of the 7th with 1 on and nobody out. Podensky on deck here for the Rams. Of course, to give you a Mount Vernon scoreboard update quickly, Lady Rams soccer beats Salem 7-0. Lady Rams softball lost to Salem 4-3, and Rams JV baseball fell to Alton 17-7. Here comes the full count offering. That misses high. What?
That's a,
let's get out of here.
Not the supper time strike. That is the bedtime strike zone.
I got a red eye to Toronto tomorrow.
That's the WWE Raw is 3 hours running tonight, and I've missed 2 of it already. I get home, strike zone.
Third of the afternoon, evening for Henry. This would be probably a strike on the outside corner to Konevsky. It's a ball, however. I want to know. Played this long.
Yeah.
What's the point?
He showed up late, so it's not like he's been here all day.
Right.
Because we got here before he did.
And we were 15 minutes into the JV game.
Yeah.
But we digress. 1-0 is your count, 1 gone, runner on first. I'll let the kids play. Here it comes. Ground ball towards third. Great scoop by Spurgeon. He's going to try for 2. And will not get. Got the lead runner, although I thought it might have pulled the second baseman off the bag.
Woo! That was the old in the area there at second base, because there was no way that second baseman touched that bag. That was the old in the area, fielder's choice for the second out.
So 2 away now as we return to the top of the order. Zach Jones.
Oh, in the area.
In the area code. 2 gone with the runner aboard. First base, 9-3. Rams on top of the 7th, trying to push some cushions across the plate here, but see what happens. That's going to be ripped right to the second baseman. Great. Gets past. Looks like a great stop. I was screened by his mid, and
he didn't want any part of that hard shot right at him off the turf, and it whistled by him as the Rams get the 9th hit. That ball was smoked. You know, one thing, one of the umpires has to drive back to Harrisburg.
I feel for our Harrisburg umpire. This is a long drive to have to make.
Yeah.
And he's not the one behind the plate. Man, oh man. That's going to be a long drive back to Harrisburg. We feel for him. Runners at the corners, 2 gone for Landon Thomas. Here in the 7th, he'll take high. Literally tied, 1-0. Man.
Long way from Harrisburg, come to Sauget and leave here probably, about 9:30?
Probably. It's 8:42 now in the Central Time Zone. 1-0 the count. Runners to corners, 2 gone for Thomas. They'll check on Jones over at first base. Nothing going. As we always tell you, Rams Baseball presented by Banterra Bank. Glad to have you with us. You're on the road at GCS Ballpark in Sauget. 1-0 is the count on the batter, Thomas. Looking in is Henry. He'll fire high. 2-0.
Game carrying on.
Game continues. Keep it continue.
Celebrities in the box with us.
You betcha. 2-0 is the count. Runners to the corners. 2 gone. Whoa, nice stop. Kick save and a beauty there by the catcher. While he's going to Indiana, that is Brent Gibbs. Counts 3-0. I mean, he literally had the leg kick. Make a stop on that one. That was an excellent stop. 3-0 the count here to Thomas. 2 outs. Runners to the corners. A 9-3 ball game. Rams on the good side of it. Gets the obligatory strike call in the inside corner, 3-1. Couple trio triumvirate of coaches up here with us.
Yep.
Some more experience than others. And not a bad way. Nice way of saying legendary. 3-1, and Thomas will rip this one into center. He'll fall for a base hit. Jones will be held up at second. A run will score as Konevsky comes around. It's 10-3.
RBI for Landon Thomas.
We have a jam-packed scenario for your Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game coming up in the post-game show. So this brings up Sawyer Harrison with 2 on and 2 out. He'll take a strike outside corner. I think Sawyer actually got that at bat last time.
Yes.
My apologies for the misidentification. Of course I have it. 0-1 the count, 2 on, 2 out here in the 7th. Rams have scored 1 already, and now that's going to be a very low strike, 0-2.
Let's get up there and swing. You got enough run zone.
Redbirds will have the top of the order coming at you in the bottom half of the 7th inning, their last chance. 10-3 your score, 2 on, 2 out, 0-2. Thomas will take high. Rounders will take high. I saw Landon out there. All right, you got my mind, 1-2. Thomas on first. Jones on second here for the Rams. 2 outs here in the 7th. 10-3 ball game. As Henry looks back at the runners go, and that's going to be in the dirt. They both take their respective bases. Now 2 in scoring position here for Sawyer Harrison. The old double steal.
Double steal. Runners hanging around, making sure they follow on a string. First, second, now between second and third.
2-2 count for Sawyer Harrison. Interesting position. A base hit could score 2 more here. Henry looks in. Looks back, now fires out of the stretch to the turf. 3 balls, 2 strikes, counts full. Good job here, and this is batted by Sawyer Harrison.
Yep, excellent job.
Garrett stands on deck, of course. Ram catcher. Henry looks in, looks juxtaposed. Here comes. Harrison will end the innings. Out on strikes. He swung on a miss. We'll go to the bottom half. Top of the order coming for the Redbirds. They trail 10-3. Last chance. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
If your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac in Centralia.
OnStar in itself is such an awesome feature. Not only does it give you the navigation systems that if you ever get locked out of your vehicle, they can unlock the vehicle, but it's peace of mind for your loved ones. If they're ever in an accident and the airbags deploy, OnStar will actually come on, ask if you're okay. If need be, they will send help out to you. What a great peace of mind for your family to travel with OnStar.
Schmidt Chevrolet Cadillac, 1421 West McCord in Centralia.
Let's go back to the field. Powered by Banterra Bank.
Welcome back to Rams Baseball. Bottom half of the 7th. Last chance coming for the Alton Redbirds. They trail the Mount Vernon Rams by a score of 10-3. Top of the order, however, for Alton, it'll be Ron Wisnaski, Larry Moore, and Brent Gibbs. Here for the Alton Redbirds. 14-5 on the year. They are 5-2 in a very tough Southwestern Conference. However, they need to get 7 or more runs here to keep it going in the 7th. Of course, 8 runs would end it. Nonetheless, here comes the first pitch. The bunt is hit foul, 0-1. Credit to Jared Anthus, out for another inning of work.
Yep, he's getting some work in. Mount Vernon off tomorrow. Or Heron on Wednesday at home and Thursday at Marion.
Of course, Tuesday, tomorrow even. Originally a rain date on the conference schedule. Lady Rams and Orphan Annie's have to use that rain date at Rotary Park tomorrow. We'll be there. 4:15 is your pregame. And this one's going to be sent foul.
Hello. Oh. Down our friends down that third base line. Look out. Seats snuggled under the blanket. Couple that foul ball got in between them.
I think it hit a vacant seat, thankfully.
Yeah, it did. Nobody hurt down there, just a lot of people woke up here during the 9 o'clock hour.
That's why Fred F.P. Santangelo would say, thank goodness nobody was hurt. 0-2's coming. He's Bob Carpenter's partner.
Yeah, he is.
1-2.
He is on the national broadcast.
Bob Carpenter, of course, the books we use, designed with the broadcaster in mind. 1-2 with Nasky as he gets it started. Takes it on the outside corner, and that is number 6 on the night. Filthy stuff from Jared Anthus here in the game's final inning. Wow.
Whew. Well, cold nights, you don't want to swing at those pitches.
You bet. I feel pretty good up here, though.
Mount Vernon? That's a nice win. I know Alton's had some errors tonight, but this is a nice win for Mount Vernon. Team is 14-5 and 5-2 in the Southwestern Conference, and I know they've made some errors, but you have taken advantage and taken it to them. That's very important.
On the count here, Larry Moore. He is 1 for 3 today. He's grounded out a couple of times, singled back in the first, was stranded on third. Last time out was a great play made by Zach Jones on a backhanded stab. 0-2 now as he'll swing and miss with a low fastball. And Anthus is looking for K number 7 on the day. That seems to be his season average. 7 strikeouts. Pitch to contact, he can be overpowering at times. He's straight finesse. As the 0-2 is a waste pitch high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gibbs on deck here for the Redbirds. 1 out, bottom of the 7th, a 10-3 ball game. They're going to have to get some runners aboard here if they're going to have a chance to get back into this one. I don't know if Jared Anthus will let that happen. 1-2. is going to be hit softly, and it'll fall for a base hit in the left field. Not a play to be made, and that puts a runner aboard here in the home half.
6 hits for the Redbirds. They have an interesting line. 3 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors on our feathered friends from the Southwestern Conference.
Speaking of feathered friends, Bird Anthus on the hill looking for win number 7 this year. 6-0 on the line. Rams looking for win number 18 here. And continuing the winning streak at GCS Ballpark. Pitch out outside to Gibbs. It's 1-0. He'll throw behind the runner more at first base, trying to keep him honest. Floater will guard the bag. The infielders, of course, playing up the middle. Third baseman guarding the line with the outfielders at normal depth. Here comes, right across the plate that time to Gibbs, 1-1. Gibbs was the first strikeout victim for Anthus back in the first with that critical first out of the inning. He has also grounded out, got a base hit and scored back in the 6th. 1-1's the count here on Gibbs. Pitch is coming. That's going to be sent opposite way towards right field. Gately's on the run. Not even close to a grab, and he'll slide. And that will cost precious time. Moore's going to be waved around to score. Here comes the throw. It will not be in time. Wise move by Matthew Williams, put in his pocket. As the runner Gibbs will take third base.
That is a case of being unfamiliar with the territory. You can see Gately kind of getting those alligator arms. The closer he got to the sidewall there in right field, didn't know where that wall was, kind of slid in to try to make the catch. Couldn't get it done as he didn't come close to it because he was scared of that wall jutting out there and on the right field line. Case of being unfamiliar with the ballpark and territory. But now it's 10-4 and a runner at third with 1 out.
Tim Holloway will visit the mound driven by Ford Square and King City Chrysler. It's always a celebration of savings at Ford Square. Great offers on a great selection of Fords and Lincolns. Always the newest technology, money-saving fuel economy, and right now, as always, a great deal from Ford Square of Mount Vernon. Of course, that'll do it for Jared Anthus. Still in position to take the win here as he goes 6 1/3 innings. Or does he?
6 1/3. You're right.
Say, Anthus might stay in to play first. Jones is going to become your pitcher. I see Trevor Flota going out to left field. Interesting.
Looking up the final stat line there.
I feel you, Doug. It's okay.
I have unofficially 6 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. No save situation here for Strellis.
So, just going to take a wild stab at it here. Anthus will stay in to play first base. Floto will go to left. Paninsky will go to short as Jones is your new pitcher. He's your all-time career saves leader in Mount Vernon Township High School history. Also has your season saves mark. As Danny mentioned, how the save situation here becomes on to try to close it out and to keep this game under 2 hours. We're 4 minutes away from a 2-hour ball game. Obviously, that is not the objective of Rams baseball. Get in, get out, get the win, and go home. Something along those lines. 10-4 your score. Jones on in relief, or he'll inherit a runner on third base. And stepping up to the plate is Shane Matthews. He had an RBI back in the first. He reached on there and scored an inning ago. And now represents still pretty far away from the tying run. First pitch from Jones is going to be a strike outside corner. It's 0-1 here to Shane Matthews. I believe he is the little brother of Ryan Matthews, who's a thorn in the side of many on the Alton Redbirds basketball team. See what happens on 0-1 with 1 gone. Just misses high and away, 1-1. But they're playing the land at the St. Louis Downtown Airport, or whatever it's called. You know, it's not downtown. I've always struggled to figure that out. 1-1 come, and that's going to be sent opposite way, and that is a base hit RBI for Shane Matthews, makes it 10-5.
Oh, baby.
Kenny Wilson, it never ends, does it?
Nope. They just don't feel real comfortable right now with these Alton Redbirds. You don't feel real comfortable. You got another run to the Anthus total. It'll be 5 runs, and 4 of those earned unofficially.
We're going to miss some of Uncle Vinny.
Oh, we're going to miss a ton.
Oh, not happy.
I will not be happy to miss the fifth inning story.
0-1, swung and missed by a fastball. That was Ray Bailey. Stands in with a runner on and one out. 10-5 is your score. As Alton managed to score a pair here in the seventh inning. 1-1 as that gets away. Low and away here to Ray Bailey. On deck is Niles Spurgeon. The old, Yep, the old 1-1 coming across the plate, 1-2.
But it's not. Boss is over here. He's keeping him in line.
There we go. There we go. We're good now.
Brian Gamber all over that.
Bob Carpenter book, I don't know what I would do. 1-2 misses outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Eye in the sky over here to the right. Not happy with some of the strike zone.
Got his own project, Alan Parsons.
Yes.
2-2, 1 out, runner on first base. We're in the bottom of the seventh. Alton scored 2 to make it 10-5. Heat caught that time by Jones. Fastball blowing right by Ray Bailey. That'll be 2 away. First strikeout for Jones.
Final out. Final out in a game that's not been the prettiest. Malvern is going to eventually end up winning this.
You betcha. First pitch strike across the outside corner for Spurgeon. He falls behind 0-1. Zach Jones trying to get a couple of Ks.
Had those stats.
Got to do what you got to do.
An invisible side over there. It's invisible. There's no zone on that side. Coach Gamber not happy, but we are right.
1-1 count, make it 1-2. Catches the outside corner, which didn't exist a pitch ago.
No, I can't figure out.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Niles Spurgeon with 2 outs here in the bottom of the seventh. Last chance for the Redbirds, and it's swung on a miss. The Rams will win this one 10-5. A couple of strikeouts after an RBI single allowed by Zach Jones. He gets the Rams the win here. Jared Andis will improve to 7-0. We'll tell you more about it in the Bean Insurance Postgame Show coming up in a bit. This is Rams Baseball. Winners 10-5 on WMIX.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Life is no easy task for anyone. We all want to better ourselves and our financial situation. Feel like you're going nowhere? Or just ready for a new challenge? Or wanting the college experience without going deeper into debt? Regardless of your answer, Rend Lake College is your vehicle to a brighter future. With over 100 degree and certificate programs, Rend Lake College can put you on the fast track to a new career or to continue your education. More affordable than 4-year universities and private schools, you can save thousands of dollars at Rend Lake College. Summer courses begin June 4th and are already open for registration. Get some of your core courses out of the way during the summer months. Smaller class sizes mean more focus on you and a laid-back atmosphere, allowing you the challenge of a great college experience without going deeper into debt. Rend Lake College's counselors are always on hand to help guide you to your new opportunity. Call 437-5321 to set up an appointment or log on to rlc.edu for more information.
Hello, I'm Morgan. A few months ago, my gynecologist said that I needed surgery, a hysterectomy. I thought for sure I'd have to leave Southern Illinois to have it done, but I was surprised to find out that not only could Good Samaritan Regional Health Center do the surgery, they had one of the nation's most advanced surgical systems. They called it the Da Vinci. It was basically this robot that translated whatever movements the surgeon was making into even tinier, more precise movements. My doc even told me that over 100 of these procedures had been done at Good Samaritan. Well, the surgery went great, and I was out of the hospital in no time. And because I was close to home, my whole family was with me every step of the way. Good Samaritan is my new hospital of choice. And starting in 2013, they'll be opening an all-new regional health center with even more advanced services. It makes me happy to know they'll still be around when my kids have families and need specialized medical care. That means a lot to me.
Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital, raising the bar.
Are you looking for an automobile that is capable of 40 miles per gallon of gas? Hi, Roy Schmidt Ford Dealer, Ford Square, Mount Vernon.
We have 3 choices in the Ford car lineup that will achieve 40-plus miles per gallon. For a start, come in and see our 2012 Ford Fiesta that proves that spirited driving doesn't have to drain your pocketbook. Also, you may try the 2012 Ford Focus, which has a 40-mile-per-gallon highway fuel economy rating. Or, last but not least, come in and test drive and see our 2012 Ford Fusion Hybrid that boosts fuel economy to 41 miles per gallon in city driving. That is a lot of errands. If you want the Fiesta, Focus, or Fusion Hybrid, any of the 3 will save you big dollars no matter what the price at the gas pump is. Come see these at Ford Square, Mount Vernon, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where the best never rest.
You can count on us. Yes, you can.
Want a good laugh? Watch those funny insurance ads on TV. You know, the ones the other guys spend billions of dollars on each year. Want seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance? Come to the Bean Insurance Agency here in Mount Vernon, an independent Erie insurance agent. You'll get a great price that saves you money, unbelievable service, and advice from people you can trust. So talk to us at the Bean Insurance Agency today. Call 618-242-6017. That's 618-242-6017. Or go to beaninsurance.net. We can help you get where you need to be, where you should be, quickly and easily. Go ahead, laugh at those cave people, stunt guys, and bubbly cashiers. Then see for yourself why more than 90% of Erie customers stay with Erie, year after year after year.
This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX. The Bean Insurance Postgame Show starts now.
And we welcome you back to GCS Ballpark in Sauget, just off of I-255. Glad to have you with us into the Bean Insurance Postgame Show, where the Mount Vernon Rams pick up a 10-5 victory over the Alton Redbirds in non-conference fashion. Bean Insurance is an independent agency. They can do the insurance shopping for you. Bean Insurance has multiple top insurance companies to choose from with great rates for your family. Call Bean Insurance at 244-BEAN. That number is 244-BEAN. Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski alongside Jesse Clark manning the studios back at Mount Vernon. Danny Czerwinski, as aforementioned, alongside Danny. Big win for the Mount Vernon Rams in neutral site fashion.
Yeah, it's nice to get a win over a good team like Alton. They were 14-5, and I don't think, obviously, they showed their best effort today with all the errors they had. But again, playing a school bigger than you are, Mount Vernon rarely gets that opportunity, and able to get a big win here on this neutral field here at GCS Ballpark in Sauget.
Chances are you're paying too much for auto insurance. Discounts awaited at the Bean Insurance Agency, but you won't know how much you can save until you give them a call. Bean Insurance, 244-BEAN, and that number, 244-BEAN. I guess we can go ahead and get with it and give them the Heartland Accounting post-game stats.
Mount Vernon, 10 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, 8 left on base. Alton, 5 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors, 7 left on base. Your winning pitcher, Jared Anthus. Rams go to 18-5 on the year, and Alton drops to 14-6 as final score in 2 hours. Mount Vernon 10, Alton 5.
Get started right. Let Heartland Accounting help make your business a success. Heartland Accounting, 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B, your small business expert. You're on the Bean Insurance Postgame Show. We need to take a break. When we come back, we will have your Community First Bank of the Heartland player of the game. 10-5 your final. Rams are 18-5 on the year. This is Rams Baseball on WMIX.
Hey, are you thinking of starting your own business? Or maybe you already own your own business and have tax questions? Call Heartland Accounting today. At Heartland Accounting, we specialize in small business planning. Let us help you with your business bookkeeping, sales taxes, payroll taxes, or maybe just some solid business advice. Get started right and let us help you make your business a success. Call Heartland Accounting of Mount Vernon today at 244-7077 or stop by 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B.
It happens every spring. You need a great quality vehicle. That's where Second Chance Auto comes in. Family owned for the past 32 years. Second Chance Auto has been the cure for spring new car fever. No one has a better selection of vehicles priced under $10,000. Almost all their vehicles come with a generous 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. There are no dock fees, no shipping fees, and no processing fees like those new car dealerships. Just low prices. Second Chance Auto. Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Call 244-4582. Second Chance Auto.
If you're your definition of local is Southern Illinois and adjacent states, pay no attention to this message. Hi, I'm Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Others advertise the message of being a local community bank. However, Community First Bank is the only local community bank exclusively serving Jefferson County with 5 locations and 5 ATMs. In short, loans and deposits stay local and benefit you.
Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, Dix, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX. Time now for the Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game.
That's right. Time for your Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game as the Rams finish a 10-5 thrilling victory over the Alton Redbirds at GCS Ballpark in Sauget, Illinois. Glad to have you with us through the duration. We wrap up the Bean Insurance post-game show. The Rams, of course, are 18-5 now in the year. They're back in action after a day off tomorrow on Wednesday. They will battle the Heron Tigers. That'll be right here on WMIX from Brennan Klein Field. 4:15 pregame, 4:30 first pitch. Our next Lady Rams broadcast is tomorrow. Makeup contest against the Annies at Rotary Park in Centralia. 4:15 your pregame, 4:30 your first pitch. Experimental aircraft flying into our foreground, of course, as we are near the St. Louis downtown airport, which oddly enough is not in downtown St. Louis.
We're also having a nice talk in right field. They're going to be here a while.
Yeah, and very proud to say that in our time of beginning to do the neutral site contests and things of that nature, that the Rams are 3-0 since we've been coming to GCS Ballpark, and that is a nice thing to see anytime you can start picking up some neutral site victories. Toughest part is always coming up with a Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game, especially when the offensive efforts were so spread out. So I can't think of anything better to do than to give it to the Ram offense as they pounded 10 runs on 9 hits. Great traditions aren't given, they're earned through hard work and commitment. That's just they believe in a Community First Bank of the Heartland, proud sponsors of the Mount Vernon Rams. A great tradition. That does it for us. Any final thoughts?
Good time here at GCS Ballpark. Had fun, and Mount Vernon gets another win, and marching on down the road, we'll play Heron at home on Wednesday.
I only wish the music would have been up and running tonight, but other than that, a great night, as always, from GCS Ballpark. Appreciate Jeff O'Neill and his staff for always taking care of us and being so accommodating here at this particular ballpark, home of the Gateway Grizzlies of the Frontier League, and we always appreciate everything they do for us when we make the trip over. 10-5 is your final. Rams are 18-5 on the year, back in action on Wednesday. You can always find our schedule, our broadcast schedule, on the WMIX website at mywithersradio.com. For Danny Czerwinski, for Jesse Clark, back to the studio for everyone at Withers Broadcasting. On behalf of our sponsors, we thank you for listening to Mount Vernon Rams Baseball, both on your radio and online at mywithersradio.com. I'm Chris Hugo. Your final score tonight, the Mount Vernon Rams 10, the Alton Redbirds 5. Good night from Sauget.
Thank you for listening to Mount Vernon Rams Baseball on WMIX and online at mywithersradio.com. Rams Baseball has been presented by the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, Banterra Bank. Banking with local style. The Mount Vernon Rams on WMIX are also sponsored in part by Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us, Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital. Raising the bar. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. Rend Lake College. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu. And also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois, Heartland Accounting, All Stars and Stitches, Bean Insurance, Central Christian Church, and People's National Bank. Your home for news, talk, sports, and America's best music. WMIX.